Man, I would say starting out with my business, man. Like when I first got into it, or whatever, I was just asking other guys, like how they paid their workers, kind of how they ran their business. I was kind of like just running off of what they told me, and I just realized like that wasn't the best for me, man. Like I wasn't making as much money doing it their way. It was probably easier to run it that way, but I wasn't making money that way. So I had changed up my whole pay and everything to where it benefit me, but it would benefit my workers as well.
Welcome back to another episode of the Water Chronicles podcast. I am your host, T.
This is J-A-Y.
And we back, man. And tonight we have a super special guest. He hails from Huntsville, I guess. I don't know. Where the hell you from, Gaiter?
Early.
Gurley. Oh, yeah, that's right. Gurley, Alabama, man. You know what I'm saying? We got our man Gator Bait on here, man. Gaiter. Welcome him to the show, y'all. Give it up for him. He's a superstar. He could have went pro, but he chose to open a business instead because he realized there was more money in that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, how you feeling, man? Welcome to the show.
I appreciate y'all having me on the show, man. Kicking it with my boys on here, speaking some real stuff.
Oh, yeah, no doubt.
And COVID free.
Right. Yeah, we are. That's what I meant to say. We are on this show. We are staying our ass at home. So, ain't no way anything could possibly transpire, but I'm sanitized up, Lysol, all that shit. I got stock in it at this point, so it is what it is.
Righteous.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man. Welcome. I'm good. What's been up, guys? How was y'all's weekend?
Mine was pretty cool. Like, I mean, it was just busy. You know what I mean? Like, it just a lot of work. And then I actually got some rest. Like, I slept for like 6 hours. That was hard to believe. But I don't know. What about y'all?
Man, yesterday was a national holiday. First week of NFL football.
Okay.
I had to watch my boy Cam. I had to watch my boy Cam do his thing for the Patriots.
Speaking of that, I actually got him on my fantasy football, and I couldn't believe, bruh, I couldn't believe nobody didn't want him. Like y'all sleep. I'm like, he about to go off this year. Like y'all really don't.
Right.
All right, bet. I couldn't get Lamar though. I was trying to get him and Lamar Jackson, but I was like, I knew it wasn't gonna work. I was like, one of them going. I was like, I got to go with Cam this time because I feel like Lamar's O-line about to run out of gas.
Lamar's the third pick in my league.
Oh, you got him?
No, I didn't get him. Somebody else got him. I mean, he went third overall in my league. I mean,
how many people you got in your league?
I think 10.
Okay, that's what we got, like 8 or 9, something like that.
We play with 2 quarterbacks.
We got 4 quarterbacks.
Yeah, I play with 4 quarterbacks in your starting lineup.
I think. Well, no, not in starting. No, like starting.
No. We play with 2 in the starting lineup.
Oh no,
Gaiter, I think Gaiter play in a PPR league. That's the type of league or something. Because there's different types of leagues you play in. There's one that's I think called Flex or something like I forgot. There's different versions of fantasy, and I think Gaiter played in a fantasy that where you have 2 quarterbacks opposed to 1, and the points are. Yeah, it gets very, it can get very confusing at some point. But yeah, there are 2 different types of versions of fantasy football. So I know what you're talking about, Gabe.
Just a challenge.
Yeah. I obviously don't. I'm over here sounding like a dumbass. I mean, shit. Yeah. Last year was my first year playing and shit. So like, I won, believe it or not. Like I was just paying attention to little shit like mental health and how niggas was acting out on damn in real life, and I was like, yeah, he gonna get fired this week, so I ain't gonna pick him. So I was just like little small shit, and then Jay would give me little insights. He'd be like, yeah, you want to make that move because if you don't make that move, you gonna fuck up. I'll be like, all right, bet. So he's like, I won a little money or whatever. We wasn't no real money for real, but I won. It was nice to win something.
Hey, some money's better than no money.
Yeah, I did some shit with it. We went out to eat and shit. That's about all I did.
I haven't won shit.
So I ain't never won a league either. I've been playing since I was in high school.
It's hard, man. Because I don't watch the NFL enough to make I can't talk strategic trades and picks and stuff.
Mhm.
I just know I know the flagship players, the good players and whatnot. But the key is also building a strong bench. And I don't know enough about the NFL of like who is booming and who's not. So like, yeah, I start off strong, and then when injuries and shit start to pile up in mid-season form, and I just kind of like my league just goes to shit. Well, at least my team goes to shit, and then I'm having to like plug and play and all of that. And yeah, I decided to take a year off. I decided to take my talents away from fantasy football this year.
Hey, Jay said he took his talents to the couch. Goddamn.
Yeah.
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 I feel you though. What did I do? I wasn't even gonna play this year, but the dudes, they hit me up at the last minute like, "Hey, you want to play?" type shit. And I was like, "Yeah, sure, whatever." You know what I'm saying? It was just like I didn't really care. This year, I've been so far out of whack with everything, and like with the corona doing what it did, and you know what I'm saying? It's just like, man, I wasn't even really into sports, and then like with the NBA games, I've been watching them, but not in full. It's kind of like I just be having them on in the background while I'm doing other shit.
Same thing, same here.
Yeah, I ain't watching that shit, bro. Like,
I watched the NBA Finals, though.
Yeah, I'm gonna watch that. I agree with you. I will watch that.
Lakers and Celtics. What?
Yeah, I think they might be.
I don't know, man. Y'all need to put some respect on my Heat boys, man. They showing out.
Yeah,
man.
they are on fire right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, they on fire. I give you that.
Yeah.
They on fire.
Yeah.
Like, I don't really like Jimmy Butler that much, but I respect him. You know what I'm saying? Like, if he would just like shut the fuck up, I'm cool with that. Like just shut up and just play, bro.
He out there doing this thing.
He got what?
Right. I said he out there doing this thing.
Yeah, I mean it's crazy though. I'm telling him to be quiet, but he actually backing up the shit that he's saying he's gonna do. So it's like, well, I can't really. Now I'm just hating. So yes, I'm openly hating.
Now I'm just hating.
Mm-hmm.
Thing about Jimmy Butler is he knows who he is. He knows who he is as a player. He knows he's not going to be someone that's going to go out there and get you 30 and 40 points every night. He can do that, but it's not in his DNA to do that. So that's what makes that team great, because they got a whole bunch of other guys that's like him, and they can each guy can kind of like take over any night. They're pretty fun to watch, and
right.
And they don't really have like a superstar on their team, so that's why I've been kind of loosely following it. Like they're my favorite, like obviously NBA team, but I don't pay much attention to the NBA when it first starts up, because they don't really be playing for real until after the All-Star break anyway.
I mean, you got Kawhi Leonard sitting out every other game.
Right. They're doing the load management stuff, and I mean, you take care of your body, but it be sometimes getting excessive. I think sometimes the niggas just don't be wanting to play some nights, and they just say, "Oh yeah, my toe hurt." Some shit to get them all, Yeah. Yeah. Shaq had a damn toe injury for like 2 years.
Yeah. He was out there playing with fucking broken legs and shit. So it's damn weird. So it's like now you got load management. It's this whole league now. I don't want to say they soft, but
no, that's right. They soft.
They are soft.
They soft. They out there flopping.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you're right. We talking to. Oh yeah, ladies and gentlemen, if y'all didn't know, we talking to a world. I would say I want to call you an All-American, bro, because you had one of the best fucking strides, like out there and beating people on routes and shit. This dude played football for our high school, Madison County High School, receiver, corner, and what else?
I played safety my senior year.
Safety. Okay.
Yeah, you played a little running back too, like freshman and sophomore year, didn't you?
Yeah, my sophomore year I did. We ran that little that wing tee.
Yeah.
Back in the backfield.
There we go.
The Air Force running back. The Air Force offense.
Yeah, the Air Force offense. Yep.
Yes.
Obi Childers.
This dude was fire, man. And like the only thing that was unfortunate about Gaiter being as good as he was is that our offense did not allow for passes that much at all. So he was kind of just in shape for no reason. But, you know,
Right.
it worked though, you know what I'm saying? You know, you balled out though. You enjoyed yourself. That's really all that matters at the end of the day. You know what I mean? It's not like you didn't have fun, you didn't have the camaraderie. You definitely had the camaraderie, you definitely had the popularity, but you didn't let it go to your head. You was pretty cool with that shit. And I respect
No, we had a workhorse in the backfield. You know, everybody know AC was a beast.
that. He was crazy, yeah. He was crazy as hell. Like I mean, motherfucker was just like a brick house with legs.
Right.
Running
I mean,
over niggas. It was
he had a
unfortunate
chip
though.
when he was like 10 years old. Crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I swear his uncle
Let me
had
get
him doing
AC.
push-ups when he was a kid.
Let me get AC.
Let me get AC.
Let's go.
HB Blast.
HB Black. Full speed, full speed.
Shit, son. Shit, son.
AC.
Oh.
Yeah, go for it, Jay.
Oh man, so man, speaking of this, Gator, man, we talked about living corona free and whatnot. That's damn sure an accomplishment in these days. So what have you been able to do to stay productive during these times?
Well, we're actually still pretty busy, man. You know, I'm in the logistics line of work, so we deliver appliances for Home Depot. So I mean, it was like prime time when they shut down everything. People were just going and doing remodeling in their homes. So I mean, I actually saw my deliveries actually increase between February and probably May. It was crazy. Like more people was buying appliances then than they was before Christmas.
Word, good shit. And I'm glad you said that because that actually is one of the questions we wanted to ask you. Actually to talk to us about your company because TAC, and I know you deal with like installing like appliances and whatnot. But for the people that don't know what you do and whatnot, we was definitely wanting you to share what you did and like, do your company have like a name, and whatnot?
Yeah, so it used to be Gaiter Logistics.
Okay.
And then it changed to A&A Logistics when I had brought on a business partner. But now it's just me now, but it's still A&A Logistics. I haven't changed it back. I probably just.
And how's the experience been with like bringing on a business partner? Because I remember when you actually you was building your company from ground up. I remember you had like different contractors working for you and whatnot. I know you were all over the place, like building it up from the scratch. So now that you have like a business partner, how has that changed, and have it made your process easier, or like what has been the, I guess, experience in bringing on a business partner opposed to like running it yourself?
I mean, the plan was to bring on the business partner to like kind of relieve me from some of the work duties, kind of like cut it in half. But I'll just let everybody know if you decide to go with a business partner, make sure you choose a hard-working business partner that kind of mirrors you.
That's what's up. Yeah. Yeah, man. You know, especially a baby like yours, your own business, you definitely want to bring in someone that at least has some sort of the same work ethic that you do. Obviously we can't clone ourselves. So, you
Right.
know what you're going to bring every day. But
Right.
that trick is finding somebody that's going to, have that same mindset as you and that same work ethic. So I know that wasn't the easiest thing to do, is choosing someone to do that.
And make sure your workers respect your business partner, man. Like if there's no respect in there, man, it's not gonna work.
Facts.
Learned that from experience also.
I was about to say, if you had any bad experiences with that, like having like bringing on workers that's not respecting like your same business partner, like giving them that same respect as they gave you.
A lot of guys quit actually. My first brought on business partner.
Really?
Oh, he quit.
Yeah, quit.
Did he quit? Like, did he give you a 2-week, or did he just walk away? Or?
Yeah. My workers gave me all my workers respect me. Like they all gave me 2 weeks before they left, but they just said they couldn't do it with the business partner. Which I understand,
So what would you? I don't know if you. I'm trying to hear. What's one of your biggest challenges that you have faced so far having your own business?
I would say my biggest challenge was when I was running a location in Huntsville and running a location in Chattanooga at the same time.
Oh man, hustler.
it was rough, man. I'm telling you. You know, Chattanooga's on a different time zone, man. It was
Mm-hmm.
times when I had guys call out. I had to wake up at like 3 o'clock in the morning in Huntsville and drive to Chattanooga to be there by 6. You know, the hour change.
Yep. Yep.
Get
Because
off
they on their
there and
Eastern time, right?
right same time as Atlanta. Work by 12 hours and drive back to Huntsville.
Wow.
That was rough,
Now,
man.
was there ever times that you like just stayed over and you was like, I just can give me a hotel and then rest up and come back, or?
Yeah, there's a couple of times I stayed like maybe a week or two out of the month or something like that. It just depends on the situation. It was just like I don't know. It just Chattanooga was just hard to find like quality workers out there, man, versus Huntsville. Now I'm actually having a hard time finding quality workers in Nashville, believe it or not. The size of this city.
Shit, it's a tough time right now because you know everybody on unemployment and most of them are making more money at home than they were making it.
They don't want to work.
They don't want to work.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like,
right.
I mean, what I try to tell folks is like, you got to be careful with it because, you know, it is your money technically. But on the other side of that, there's also a big tax that's going to come back around. You know what I'm saying? Like nothing is free. So it's like
exactly.
one way or another, they're going to fuck you in the ass with that shit. Like, you know, I ain't really trying to, I mean, yeah, they going to get you. In other words, like they will find
they going to get theirs.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I mean, yeah. Like I got partners that's still riding it right now. I'm like, man, you might well go ahead and try to find you a job. Quit playing with that.
I thought they cut it in half. Didn't they cut it in half?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They still, but they still don't want to. I think they just doing like probably like odd jobs on the side or something like.
Like under the table work.
Under the table. Yep. And so I mean it works. Like those are usually some of the coolest jobs to have. It's just they're not. You can't depend on them for long because
stable.
That's right. It's not stable enough. Like that's it. Cut it off and be like, oh yeah, we're not doing ABCD no more type whatever. So it's a gamble. Ain't no different than selling dope.
Yeah, man.
Facts.
Yeah. It was. You know, a lot of people, like you said, it's a struggle right now trying to find workers because now, you know, it's hard to get people to want to return back to work, especially at the time where it was like what $600 a week on top of whatever they was getting from unemployment.
Man, they were making a lick.
Yeah. It was like, damn.
Hitting licks left and right, goddamn.
Man.
Then they got that stimulus check. Boom, tax money came in.
Man, it was gold time. And then
about hood.
But one question that we usually like to ask everybody that comes on the show: when life, did you ask this question already, Jay?
No, go ahead, brother.
All right. So when life has given you lemons, when have you found yourself making lemon water? It's metaphorical, so you know, take your time, no rush. Or you might already have the answer, but when have you?
You said when life gave me lemons, when I turned into lemon water.
Yeah, like when life is giving you lemons, when have you found yourself making lemon water? Like kind of having to make something out of nothing, or you had to make some shit shake. Like when have you found yourself? What happened to you, or you know what I mean?
Man, I would say starting out with my business, man. Like when I first got into it or whatever, I was just asking other guys, you know, like how they paid their workers, kind of how they ran their business. I was kind of like just running off of what they told me, and I just realized like that wasn't the best for me, man. Like I wasn't making as much money doing it their way. It was probably easier to run it that way, but I wasn't making money that way. So I had changed up my whole pay and everything to where it benefit me, but it would benefit my workers as well. Okay. It actually challenged my workers to actually work and not be lazy, just come up, just show up and get a check. Before when I first started, I was just paying them by the day. You know, I was paying them like $120 or $100 a day to go out and deliver appliances, whatever, man. They weren't even finishing in their routes or whatever, but they were still expecting to get paid. So when I figured that out, whatever, I sat down, you know, drew up some numbers, whatever. I started paying them by the stop. Wow. So, hey, you go out, you do complete 12 stops, you get this amount of money. You got to complete 13 stops, you get this amount of money. If you don't complete the stop, you don't get paid for the stop.
That's fair.
Yeah, you think it's fair. I mean, I think that's how everybody should be paid. I don't really believe in hourly wages It's because
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. You
can
don't
just ride
get the
the
best.
clock.
Yeah, you don't get the best out of people when you do it when you do it that way. Like you gotta motivate people, man. Like you motivate people to work, you get the best out
I agree. Because where I work now in the day, like you know, I do film photography and stuff like that, and so I have my own company as well. But where I work, I interned there. Basically, I had to earn everything that I have gotten, and so I was blessed that after I pretty much only worked a couple of shifts for free, but I'm willing, you know, I'd be willing to work most of the stuff I do for free because it's what I love. So I was blessed to have a paying internship in college, which was great because it made me see the light on being able to walk away from working for a department. So I worked for Walmart for like 5 years. And before that, I had worked for like, yeah, that shit was hell. And so I had worked for, I mean, it wasn't that bad. It's what you make it. Anywhere you work is what you make it.
Oh, yeah, I worked at Walmart before. I did stock at Walmart.
Yeah, I did that. I did stock. I worked grocery. I worked in electronics, cashier, carts, all that shit. Like I did it all. So like, I mean, I was just trying to get as many hours as I could because, you know, I was buying frivolous shit back then. But if I had been smart about it, I would have been trying to figure out what the more stock options that I had or could have gotten, or I would have just been putting money to the side just to put it back for a rainy day fund. Like I really wish I had been more tapped in like that. Now it's pretty much where I'm at now. You know, I'm about to get married and all that. So money is one of them things that's essential, obviously, but it's not everything because, you know, if you ain't got your health, it don't matter how much money you got. So you got to keep your
bills,
mental. Huh?
So you got to pay your bills though.
Oh hell yeah, yeah. They don't give a damn if you healthy or not. They're like, you get the payment, you got the letter right.
No, man. Yeah, I'm glad you brought up stocks, man, because that's like ever since coronavirus started, I actually got into trading stocks, and
Oh yeah, talk about it.
I found the talent in stocks, man. Everybody knows the basic of stock trading: buy low, sell high.
Right.
But like, I mean, there's more into it, obviously, that other people don't know, man. What I figured out doing stocks, man, you gotta research. Research is the key thing to stocks, man. You can't just go by what somebody says, hey man, buy this stock. Well, I researched it. You know what I mean? Like they might think something different than you think something, man. And the main thing with stocks, man, I learned that is you buy the rumor and you sell the news.
You buy the what?
You buy the rumor and you sell the news. That makes sense.
Yes, sir.
Like I don't know. Y'all heard about the whole TikTok deal, right?
Mm-hmm.
Y'all heard of TikTok, right? Like it actually it was supposed to be getting sold to Microsoft. Like that's the rumor. You buy the rumor, and then when the actual news happens, then you sell.
Wow.
But Microsoft didn't even get TikTok, so if you had bought that
that's
rumor,
good though.
You would have failed on that.
Listening or watching that, now they can take that information and utilize it for themselves to see if it works. I mean, I know it's probably mostly like trial and error, right?
Oh yeah, for sure. I would start small with like a little bit of money. I wouldn't just go all your money into it.
Yeah, I had a partner that won like 800. I think he had won 800 in like 10 minutes. And so I was like, oh shit, what you gonna do with it? Like I was like, you gonna take 400 out and then put 400 back in and do it like that, or you gonna do? He's like, nah, I'm about to put it all back in. You got to put it all back in. I was like, that don't sound right. Like
you gotta be smart with it when you do that.
Hell yeah, I felt like, and then he lost it all. Like that nigga lost. Yeah. He lost like 95% of that. I think he probably had like $100 left over, if that. And he was sick.
He bought that bad stock.
Stupid ass, bro. He was sick for the rest of the day. I was just like, yeah,
man,
you got
There's a fine line with most people, especially when people are starting to get into stocks and day trading for the first time. People come in with a gambling mindset. It's a fine line between it. Like, you know, if you coming in there to gamble and stuff like that, that's gambling. You know, you might as well go find you a digital poker game and buy chips in there, you know, and cash in all of that, or go to a casino. Yeah, stocks is stocks and day trading is the long game. So a lot of people go into it, you know, wanting to, you know, you can come up like your partner did, come up with that 800, but then you can, as quick as you get that 800, you can lose it too. You know,
Yeah,
so
real quick.
So anytime that I've invested in the stock, because I'm pretty novice at it. I'm not an expert by all means. I'm probably what you would call a beginner, to be honest. But I just went into that mindset knowing, okay, I don't expect to see any of this money again. But you know, but at the same time,
Pretty
you
that's what
know,
they
much
I'm
say. Like
same.
if you're gonna invest, don't be scared to
yeah,
lose that money.
right,
It ain't no different than you purchasing damn near anything. Honestly, like you might. I
yeah.
mean, well, I take that back because like if you buy something at the store, 9 times out of 10 you can return it. But if you don't have a
But
receipt,
if you buy a car and you wreck it
oh, it's a
a
wrap.
month down the road, yeah, like you can get
As soon
another
as
car, probably won't be
you
the
drive
same
it off
value.
the lot, it's already depreciated. Like
Exactly. So you
I
can't
don't
even
know.
replace that same car by paying more money.
Right. You risking it all. But I mean, you know, great risk, great reward. So you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You can come up majorly. Like I should have gotten more into it at the beginning, but man, I don't know. I think I was just thankful for the time off to kind of like get a second to breathe and catch up. You know what I'm saying? I think I started focusing more on my mental health more than anything
Right.
in the beginning of it. And then like I had been in the gym kind of hard, but I really got in there. Like I really got back into boxing. And so now, I mean, I had been in this boxing, but now I'm like damn near a trainer. Like I'm working to get my cert and everything. I don't really need the
Oh,
cert.
that's what's up.
Yeah, bro. It's been 3 years, man. So now I'm out here training people and shit, apprenticing. It's going great. I'm happy. I love it. I want to just keep finding more ways to advance. But I wish the stuff that I have now mentally, I wish I had it when I was in school, like back in high school, because I probably could have rocked shit. I could have done a whole lot more
Man,
stuff
they
than I
should gave
did.
us some mentors or something back then,
They
man. You
should
know what I
have.
mean? Like,
Well, me and Jay actually found one on the low. You remember Mr. Crutcher?
Yeah.
We found
Yeah.
him. He just came to a class at random one day talking about, you know, college and all that. And, you know, I think that was around the time I don't want to speak for both of us, but for me, I was like, I had an idea that I was going to go to school. Like most of my family had gone to college, like on different parts of it. I was I was like an entrepreneur spirited kid. I was just like, man, I'm gonna just get it some kind of way. Cause I really don't want to go to school because I just got through doing that. Like I just did that for 12 years. And so I was like, I don't want to do it some more. Yeah, bro, that shit was trash. And like all that fucking work. And I just didn't want to go back. Like, you know, you get out of high school and go straight back to high school for the first 2 years of college. Anyway, it's like the 13th grade, the 14th grade, and then you get started with whatever it is you're doing. Unless you go to tech school while you're in high school. Now that's something that they pitched it like how they did it for us. They pitched it like not like it was something that you shouldn't do, but they made it seem like it was second rate. And I'm like, well, no, those are trades. Like that's something you could immediately go into and start getting money like right now. It's yours. Like
they didn't push it hard enough.
No.
So that's the problem. That's the problem, guys. Like, you know, with school in our generation, it was like 4-year college or bust. You know, they made it seem like you had to go to a 4-year university or institute, get you a bachelor's degree in whatever, and then you'd be set for life. You know, that's not the case.
But like everybody in our age group did it, so now it's like it got like oversaturated.
Yep.
Oh yeah. But we knew that was coming because like if you have like you have like a million people doing it. And then nobody is an entrepreneur. Like people that are entrepreneurs is gonna come up off the people that went to school because they taught you to buy shit the whole time. They taught you to be a consumer from jump.
Right.
They taught you to be a consumer and be somebody's worker bee in a nutshell. And I mean, what's important is if you took it upon yourself to find a way to develop that into something other than, you know, like with me, I had skills so like I could play the drums. I was good at talking to people. I was, you know, good working with people. I was good at, I don't know, like organizing things to an extent. And so, you know, I do have my own, you know, I've been a professional drummer technically for like 20 years because my first job was in the church. And so I pretty much played for multiple churches. And then I had played at one point in time, I had 2 different services. Like I would play a service at one church and somewhere else and then drive across town and play the other one in another church. And so I would get, you know, that was lucrative, but I was doing that. Working at Walmart. At one point in time, I had worked at a TV station. Like I was doing everything, but it's like your degree, sometimes you don't really need it for half of the
No,
stuff
I
that
don't
you're
think
doing.
so.
They just sell you that shit. They sell you fear, honestly.
Yeah. And what they don't talk about is the debt that you can go into, you know,
Right.
as
Not
far
unless
as
you got
going
a
to
full
college.
ride like this
I
Yeah.
guy.
don't even tell
He
you
got
about
a full
Sally
ride.
Mae.
Yeah, they don't tell you about Sally Mae. They don't
Nah.
tell you about that hoe. They don't tell you about none of that, you know.
Nah.
They don't tell you
Call Sally Mae a hoe.
yeah, Sally Mae is a hoe, man. She'll call you as soon as she feels like you graduated or out of school. You gonna get a call from her
She gonna hit you up.
quick, ASAP, and it ain't gonna be
She gonna be like,
the
"Hey, what you
call that you
doing
want.
tonight?"
Yeah,
She got Uncle Sam and you got Sally Mae now.
right,
Yeah.
right. Like, what's up, big head? Hey,
Hey,
big head. Yeah, she coming in like a creep in
Hey,
the
big
night,
head.
man.
I'm weak.
Yeah, man, they don't talk about that because, you know, not everyone, of course, they going to, you know, they say,
Right.
yeah, get your scholarship. But, you know, not every scholarship is going to pay for your school for 4 years. You know, they don't tell you that part. They don't tell
every one
you,
of them. Nope.
not everyone, not even with athletic scholarships. You know, those are such things as partial scholarships and there's such thing as
Yeah,
full scholarships.
mom's on your partial.
Yeah,
Oh, I,
yeah.
th- I thought
So
you had a full ride all this time, bro.
Now AC had a full ride.
Wow.
now I did thought you had a full ride though, Gator, because that was a crazy time at that point, man. I almost because yeah.
AC had like a super full ride. That nigga had to pay for his books.
Wow.
Oh wow.
That's a different level.
Right.
But yeah, they don't go into that. They don't tell you. I mean, yes, you could. There are scholarships that are really not known that you can apply for, but those are not going to be. They may pay for like a book or so. You know, they may pay for a semester. I mean, you can get I mean, there's different ways of getting them, but they make it seem as if you apply to school, you apply for scholarships, and that boom, that's it. And
Right.
they don't talk about like the majority of people that actually going to school that actually have to get these loans. You know, get these. Because like with me, for example, I had I have a first cousin that went to A&M. I still don't know if she was there for a full ride, but I know she graduated. But beyond that, my family didn't really, I'm one of the first to actually, they did attempt to go to college and whatnot. And I had to do all of that stuff myself. I had to figure all that out. I didn't, I didn't know anything about loans and all of that. I just knew that was the money I needed to get through a semester and whatnot. If going back, I probably would have made some different decisions on what to accept and whatnot. But yeah, I think schools should do a better job, which they may. Hopefully they are for today's kids' sake going
Yeah, they try
into
to make like community college free, I think, right? I think
I did hear that. I did hear that they were trying to do that, but I don't know if that exactly passed. I do know that there's a school here in Tennessee. I want to say East Tennessee College, or I forgot the name of it, but I think their community college is free. I forgot the name of it. I have to look that
East
up.
Tennessee
But
State.
It might be East Tennessee State. It's the
Like,
one that's like in the middle of nowhere.
It's in Cookville, right?
Yeah.
Like going towards Knoxville.
Yeah, it's in the middle of nowhere. But yeah, I just think there should be much better education on applying for school and and knowing what loans to take. I mean, because there are grants and stuff like the Pell grants and stuff. You can get those. Those are great.
Learning the difference between subsidized and unsubsidized is very important.
Yeah.
Right.
Because people think that they can just choose either one of them. And I'm like, well, yeah, you can, but that ain't the move you want. You want to kind of know what you're picking because they're telling you exactly when you're going to have to pay it.
Exactly.
And a lot of people was, going to A&M. People was getting like refund checks and stuff like that until like a 19, 20-year-old male. And, you want to flex or you want to feel like you got a little something. And then people buying, I remember people was buying cars and rims. You knew when everybody got their refund check at A&M, bro. People just show with a whole car. You be like, damn, you have shit on Monday, but it's Tuesday. You flex, you balling.
I couldn't wait until the refund checks hit because, man, I couldn't find parking anywhere. And I'd be like, oh, yeah, everybody here. Until the refund checks hit, then the parking lot is going to be empty. Because, people get them refund checks and shit. They ain't going back to school for the rest of the semester. Yeah, it goes. And every year, it never failed. Like and it would be so packed. I couldn't find a parking spot anywhere that I needed to be, close to the building I was going to school at. And then the refund checks hit, ghost town.
Yeah.
But speaking of school, Gary, what you get your degree in, bro?
Business management.
Yeah. Of course, to everybody that, obviously knows, we all grew up together, right? So for the people that don't know us, I always knew Gaiter was going to have a business mindset. When we were kids, Gaiter used to have a hustle in school, selling like snacks, doing like little stuff, making like
comic books. You remember the comic book?
Yeah, comic books, paper airplanes. Gaiter hit,
selling tickets for fights in the bathroom.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Gaiter, anything that we needed, Gaiter was already a step ahead, as far as, and he made money off that. Granted back in school, we couldn't charge money like the way we can charge now as adults, but shit, getting 50 cents to $1 here, that went a long way.
Right.
It went a long. I remember Gaiter had like a bag of suckers, sometimes selling and stuff. Gaiter had that entrepreneur mindset. It was just, I didn't know what you was gonna do as far as with like in our grown adult life, but I knew it was gonna be something that you managed your own business because you had that mindset when we were kids. Yeah.
If I didn't go to school, I probably would have been a bootleg man.
Man, that's all we grew up around, bro.
That's like a lost art now, the bootleg man.
Man,
right.
It's gone. It's gone, bro. Like I think I saw one dude that was selling like movies the other day at random. He's like, "You need some movies?" And I was like, "YouTube, bro." I was like, "YouTube, Amazon
he
movies."
Said YouTube.
I'm like, nah, bro. Like I felt like fooling with him, saying, like try to support his business. But it's like, I was like, nah, man, I'm straight. You know what I'm saying? Those days are kind of passed us on. Cause
man,
in a barbershop.
This kid trying to sell me a CD, man, at the gas station.
Wow.
He's like, man, buy my mixtape, homie. Buy my mixtape. I said, man, my car don't even have a CD player in it. I felt kind of bad. I said, man, I only have a CD player in my car. And he kind of got an attitude at me. He's like, man, at least support the hustle. I'm like, man, bro, I can't listen to it, though.
He's like, where am I listening to it at? And see, I can admire that because I feel like he probably got part of that from like Nipsey, because Nipsey was selling his shit still like hand over fist. And he was doing, he was still doing like CDs for a while. If you remember back in 2009 or 10, I forget which mixtape it was, but he sold them all for like 100,000 a piece, or no, 10,000, like 10,000 per mixtape. He sold it to like, and then people like, like Jay-Z bought like 10 of them or something like that, and somebody, just different artists had bought it because they knew what he was doing, and he was basically cornering the market and pretty much like writing his own ticket. And that's the reason why Nipsey was such an integral piece, but he was also very dangerous for industry label heads and people like that, because he knew, like, he already had it in his mind that he was gonna write his own shit, pay, get it forward, go the route that he needed to go. That's layman's terms. I mean, it's probably, I only have so much research that I've done on that, but that's the kind of stuff that I look to and I listen to, because as an entrepreneur, you need that shit to fuel you going forward. Because the music of today, a lot of the music of today doesn't make me want to hustle. You know what I mean? Like, I had to go backwards to listen to stuff like Cash Flow, Ace Hood, all the shit we used to listen to. You remember summer 08? We was just fucking.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, bro. Like, that's the stuff I still be listening to now. Even when I work out, I listen to that.
Same here, man. Same here.
Yeah. So, But I meant to, so like, based off the studies that you had in college, would you say that you getting a degree in business management helped you? Like, why? Like, if it did, how? Or if it didn't, why not?
I don't think it did, man. Just because like it was just book work. Like, it was like like actual like face to face, hands on type stuff. Like, how biology and all that stuff is. Like,
yeah.
You can't really do like you can do internships, whatever, but like internships still ain't even the same either as like running your own thing, man. You just gotta get out there and do it. To be honest, that's
Put your hands
the
on
best
it.
to learn your best skill sets. Just getting out there doing it. You can't really be taught how to run a business. I don't.
No, you got to get out there and fail a couple of times because, like,
Yeah, you take out there and fail, man, and pick yourself up and try a different route.
that's
That's
real.
what's up.
That's real.
I never really asked you directly. I know you told me some stories about, your days at Olivet and whatnot. And again, I'm referencing Olivet. That's actually the university where Gator actually went to school, Olivet Nazarene University. It's it's a university. It was a private school that's like a outside suburban, outside of Chicago and Illinois. I'm referencing Olivet today, but I never really asked you this directly. But what were some like the struggles you encountered, or like any other stories that you have, like while being a college athlete there? Because for the people that don't know, you actually played football, collegiate football and whatnot, and you went to that. I know we alluded to it at the beginning conversation of this, but you actually went on to get a scholarship at Olivet. So tell us about like any of the struggles that you encountered there, or or any stories that you want to share.
Man, I would say being a college athlete, man, is tough, man. Like that is a full-time job. Like it's football and then it's school. Like ain't no such thing as student athletes. Athlete student.
Mm.
Right. That's what I hear a
If you
lot.
play a sport in college, man, because like it's like 3 hours out of the day you got class, but everything else is geared towards that sport. You be working out or you're practicing or you're in the film room during the season. Like it doesn't even matter, man. Like even in the off season, when we wasn't even playing games, we waking up at 5:30. We waking up at 5:30 in the morning when the ROTC kids are up doing their little marching around and stuff, running and stuff. 5:30 in the morning. As soon as you get done, you eat breakfast, you go to class at 7 in the morning. Get out of
Yeah.
class, go rest, take a break, go lift at like noon or something like that. Go practice at 3 o'clock. Like it was never no
Wow.
time, man.
Wow. Wow.
But I
What
mean,
was that?
I enjoyed it, man. I like being challenged, whatever. So like, I didn't really care too much about it. It was tough, but
Yeah.
I enjoyed the challenge.
So do you feel like being a college athlete and like you left here to go there? Do you feel like it's something that's like not for the weak at heart, or like is it something that let's just say if you were like a star athlete in high school, do you think it's a tough transition for someone that was a superstar, so to speak, and then they go to like Olivet and then they got to start all over, or what was that like?
What do you mean, like, is it going to college in general, or playing football, or is it like going outside of your home state?
We'll say both.
I mean, like, going to Chicago from Alabama, man, it's a huge culture shock, man. Like,
Okay.
just the people, the way people dress, the way people talk, just like it was way different than Southern people. Like Jeremy been to Chicago. You been to Chicago, right, Jeremy?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. Numerous times now.
it's just like black folks are different in Chicago versus the
Yep.
South. And we
Oh
get
yeah,
along.
man.
Don't get me wrong, we get along, but like there's definitely a difference.
It is, man. The culture is definitely different up there. They, city that never sleeps, man. Yeah, Chicago is it's nothing like it, And like you said, it's not that it's bad or we didn't get along, but you coming from rural Alabama to city like Chicago or outside of Chicago, the weather, everything, food, ways of transportation, all of that is like night and day compared to what it is down
Right.
here. So yeah, it does take some adjusting to get used to, for sure.
But on the other part of your question, like you saying like being like a star athlete going to like a college.
Yeah.
I mean, it's way different, man. Like you can make like it's. I think any school you go to, man, they still do a little hazing here and there. Like
Oh yeah, that's part of it.
that's part of the game, man. But like, I mean, if you're not starting, whatever, if you're not a star, it's pretty much just sitting back watching and learning.
Oh yeah, and see that. So when you got there, were you like an instant starter, or did you have to like earn a spot, or?
I got redshirted my first year. I didn't even get to dress out.
Wow.
So I just sat on the sideline the whole time, and I was like on the practice squad.
Okay.
So
Fun fact.
Yeah, go ahead, Jay.
I was just about to say, fun fact to all of our listeners: Olivet Nazarene University is actually, for all of the Chicago Bears fans out there, that's actually the place where they use training camp. Am I right, Gator? Is that correct?
Correct.
Like, so I
I've
know
seen
Gator,
all of
you
them.
told
I've
us a
seen
story.
Brian Urlacher, all of them.
Yeah.
Devin Hester. What was that? Jay Cutler, Lance Briggs.
Yeah, I thought that was so
boys.
cool. So for all you Chicago Bears fans, if you are near Olivet or if you've ever been there, training camp takes place there. So I remember you shared some stories of seeing, like you said, seeing some of the players, mainstream players at the particular time, like Jay Cutler, like you said. So I just thought I would throw that fun fact out there.
We had to clean up. We had to clean up after them when they left.
Wow. What an honor.
Right.
It's like, I love
I got to touch Devin Hester's towel.
I'm going to keep this. Can you sign it for me? Like, put this in a frame.
And this is when Chicago, this is when the Bears was actually pretty decent. I know they were a couple of years removed from being in the Super Bowl during the time that, we were in college and whatnot. So they were relatively decent at that point. Like you said, Devin Hester was, still returning punts like crazy. Jay Cutler was,
I was there the first day he got there and pulled up in a white Audi with a Colorado plate. I said, that must be Jay Cutler.
Jay Cutler, yep, because he was with the Broncos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pulled up in training camp in the white Audi.
Man.
Tinted windows.
Was Brandon Marshall on the team at that point, or he came a little bit later after? Do you remember?
He came later.
Okay.
He came like. I think I was still there when he was there though. When he came.
Okay. Yeah, I knew they were kind of still decent. Now they just kind of like a shit show.
Oh wow.
Oh yeah, Julius Peppers was on the team at that point.
On the team. He was on the squad. It's weird, bro. The Bears actually had a little squad for a long time, and it's like I tell people all the time, man. You really got to have your psyche and stuff like that together. Camaraderie is key, but somebody's always not gonna be happy. But on the other side of that, it's just how do you get 68 people or 58 or however many y'all had on your squad to be all on one accord? That's tough because you always gonna have somebody that feel like they should be up another level or stuff like that. I talked to some of the guys at A&M. Their record for years you think when you look back, the track record was actually pretty good. They were winning championships or at least like conference championships or getting to like runner up or whatever. And so I used to ask some of the younger dudes, why is it that the record is the way that, why do you feel the record the way that it is? And they're like, favoritism, people, they got their picks or, like they played at a certain place prior to here. And so when they come here, they got to deal with that. And then just the fact that everybody's just not mentally on the same page. And the coaching would directly also reflect the same thing. Like, you just couldn't get people to buy in mentally. And that's just unfortunate. Like, I feel like every school or every team should kind of find ways to nip that in the bud instead of it being kind of like, trying to look past it. It's like, well, nah, we need to assess this and talk about it so that we can build this thing from the ground up instead of trying to build around stuff, kind of similar to how like stuff is in the United States. Everybody just trying to go around shit instead of going through it and fixing it.
Right.
What's your favorite memory of all three of us together, bro? I know we have like so many, we can all go back and, at any point of our lives and bring up, and, particularly going back into high school or whatnot. But what would you say is your favorite memory of all of us, three of us together? I mean, I know sometimes when we hang out, there's more of us, than just us three, but do you have a particular memory?
I would have to say, man, what was it, that time we was all in Miss Clark's class? You remember that, Thursday?
I'm about to cut this shit off. All right, that's the end of the show, y'all.
Side of the room.
That's the end of the show, y'all. The show ended right now.
Oh man, I still give him hell about that to this day.
Man, I was hoping y'all wasn't gonna bring that shit up tonight. I was like, we made it all the way. We made it, man. Look.
Move to the other side.
That shit was horrible. That shit was traumatizing, bro. Like, but see, the thing is with me. All right, so for y'all listeners out there and watching,
oh shit,
your boy was a class clown in school, not because I didn't know how to do the work. I just didn't give a shit. Like I didn't care, bro. Like because I wasn't bought in. You know what I'm saying? I felt like the teachers wasn't bought. I feel like if a teacher was bought into me, then they would get my all. But if I felt like, Miss Clark was cool though. She actually was cool. Like despite getting in trouble and shit like that, she gave a shit. So I give her that part. But I just had bad influences in that class. And we fed into each other a lot, and I ain't gonna say no names. We just gonna leave it like that. You know what I'm saying? We fed into each other a lot, man. I got in trouble like every other day in there, and it was just like. But see, the other part of it was legit. It wasn't my fault. Like some stuff, I would just be chilling. I'd be like right there. Oh, Giselle, you need to move over here. I'd be like, I would just be looking at like, what did I do? And she could never tell me what I did. But then after class, she'd be like, I like you. I don't understand why you're a part of this. I'm like, I'm not a part of anything. I'm like, you keep putting me in shit. Like, the fuck? Like, you put me in it with these people. And then, like, everybody else be laughing. Everybody that's laughing would never get in trouble. It's always the quiet person. Hilarious. Because they make it seem like I'm the one that made them laugh. And I'm like, no, they just all started laughing. And I'm, all right, I'm going to move. Like, all right, what you want me to do?
Which seat?
Going back as a student now.
Yeah.
Going back thinking about me being as a student now, I can't tell you what's more humiliating as a student than calling out your fucking grade in front of the whole class to hear what you made. And granted, that was the wrong class because they had me and Gaiter in there. Fucking laughing at people getting 12s and 0s and shit on
the One dude had a fucking 9. I was like, 9? I felt good because I had 48. I was like, I'm doing good then.
Hey. And the class was English.
English.
Right. The shit was easy, bro. Like it was 9th grade English. It wasn't that hard. Most of that shit was just memorization, bro. Like all you had to do was just remember the word and but different strokes for different folks. Sometimes people be struggling with I don't know, like having to pick the right word and shit. That shit was easy to me though. It's just like you just know how to talk. So it's like
you talking about the grammar part of it?
Yeah. That part was easy.
Hey Gaiter, where you going, Johnny? Remember that?
Oh, every test. Y'all get up and leave.
Tell them what it is, Jay.
Oh shit. So, our school at the time was set up to where if you struggle on like tests and whatnot, I'm just gonna keep it a buck. Like, all right, it was like if you were I hate to say it, but it was special ed basically. I'm just gonna keep it a buck. We all know it. I'm gonna break the elephant in the room. All right. So every student in our high school was designated to be a part of that. If you were a part of that, when it was time to take a test, you would just magically get up and disappear and walk out the room. So every time we had a test, there was one particular person that would get up, and when me and Gaiter picked up on it, we was like, "Where you going?" And come to find out, rumor has it that like if it was a multiple choice test, 2 of the wrong answers would be marked out, so you had like a 50% chance of getting a fucking 100. You know what I mean?
It was a
like
fucking vocabulary test.
Yeah. Oh shit.
That's rough. That's rough.
Oh man. Yeah.
That's rough.
Hey, me and Gaiter was assholes in that class, man. We laughed at everybody and everything.
That's tough. Bro. That's it wasn't for the weak at heart, bro. You had to be like mentally okay with yourself. Like that's the part. Like I tell people all the time. I was like, bro, if you are okay with laughing at yourself, you will make it in life. I was like, all you gotta do is laugh at yourself. Like how Eminem used to do that shit in fucking 8 Mile. I'm white. I'm fucking dumb. I live in a trailer with my mom. I was like, all you gotta do is just be like that. You be all right. And then people be like real sensitive and shit, though, that's where you get messed up. I'm like, if you
Right.
sensitive, it's gonna be hard for you, bro, because it ain't that deep. It's never really been that deep. You just have to let it go. It ain't, it ain't like people trying to get you to kill yourself and stuff like that. But like these kids now, they couldn't do the shit that they couldn't.
Oh yeah, man. They like to shoot up schools and shit now. So
yeah.
we grew up joking on each other.
Exactly.
That's all I knew.
That's all. Hey, no bullshit, Gator. I wish your tongue was in here because I was telling her the other day because she was trying to, she was trying to roast me and whatnot. I was like, and I was coming back with the heavy, quick hitters.
That fire.
I was like, you don't realize.
They had that fire, boy.
This is what we do. This is what we grew up on. We grew up on. That's all we did. It didn't, it may be a different person for each day, but at some point you were getting roasted, like by somebody.
We roasted AC, we roasted Jeremy, we roasted Paul.
Man, everybody.
We roasted Lil Red.
Oh man, he probably got it the worst.
Red called hell, man.
Yeah, he probably got it the worst. Shout out to Red though, but he probably got out.
To Lil Red.
Yeah, shout out to Red.
Jacob Boyd even got it.
Oh yeah, man, Boyette didn't stand a chance.
He hung out with the black kids. He had to get it.
Yeah, he had to get it.
He had no choice.
Boyette had no chance. So
Jacob was the quarterback, so you already know he was going, you know what I'm saying? He was gonna get it.
Yeah, I was like, this is what we do. So like, nothing you could say. I heard it. I heard it all. So it's nothing you can do or say. Just I'm gonna come back with it. So just know who you roasting.
Just be prepared for this fire because it's right here.
It's coming hard.
Yeah.
Yeah. Brinker was trying to roast me the other day. She was roasting me about back this. I ain't got my beard back together, but it wasn't together about like 2.5 months back. So like it was a rebuild process. And she was trying to flame me.
I know that,
bruh. We what I'm saying, we got it together though. I'm feeling good about it now. I think by the time
at least we was in mass days, you just cover up with
right. Yeah. I'm saving grace. She was flaming me, bruh. She said, "Look like you got an edge up on your face." I was like, "Oh, okay." So we gonna do that.
Oh, man.
Like we ain't gonna talk about your head. And then she was like, "Oh, what's wrong, man?" I was like, "Oh, don't worry about it." I was like, I just left it alone. But then
let me go there.
Yeah, I was like, I gotta go to sleep tonight, so I ain't even gonna chirp on you. I'm gonna let it go.
Let's stop. Let's stop.
Let's stop. Oh yeah, so I'll tell y'all the let's stop story. So in college, it was this dude named we used to call him Willis. I think his first name was Anthony. So he had on like he would wear like different color clothes and stuff like that.
Oh, I know this dude. Anthony,
you know Willis?
Dude. Yeah, I think I met him through Jeremy.
There you go.
Yeah.
This dude, now we tight, we cool though, ain't no pressure. But he was trying to flame me because he was saying that I think he was talking about my shirt was wrinkled or something like that. And I ain't give a shit, man. We had like a 9 a.m. class. It was fucking Thursday. Like Thursday is Friday in like when you're a freshman in college. Like it is Friday. Like, any day closer to Friday is Friday. So I'm like, nigga, it's like 8:00 in the morning. You here talking about my shirt, nigga? It's wrinkled. And I was like, we ain't gonna get on your dingy ass white shirt. I was like, that shit's supposed to be white, but it's brown. So it's like, you want to go there? And I was like, oh, let's go deeper. I was like, you got green shoes on with a red hat. Let's go deeper. Like I just kept laying it on. And then the girls in the class was like, ooh, he was like, let's stop. Let's stop. Let's stop this. Like we ain't gotta go like this. I'm just like, nah, we just gonna keep going, bro. Like, yeah, I was like, you came over here fucking with me. I'm in here trying to chill. It's 8:00 in the damn morning, nigga. I ain't trying to flame nobody.
All right.
People pull it out me sometimes, bro. I don't even be trying to be like that.
Shout out to Willis, man.
Shout out to Willis.
So what you miss most? So I back on the high school thing. What would you say you missed most about high school? Fuck you.
Man, it's the friends, man. Like the friends in high school, man. Like you get older, it just ain't the same. Like you still got that bond with your high school friends. Like and that never goes away.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Especially if you grew past small shit. Like you had to be able to, like I said, laugh at yourself. understand where you come from, and everybody got their own. Everybody has their own origin of some sort. So it's like, you know, motherfucker might flame you on Monday, but y'all might be cool as hell on Tuesday. It's just, you know, it's just part of the game. So it's
like I fought like all my friends, man. Like it's cool the next day or next week or whatever.
Yeah,
it's like,
yeah.
Difference
like we can always stop it up. We cool.
We had no choice but to be cool, man, because we represent for the longest time, you know, all the way to high school. It was only six of us that were black, you know, in our entire grade.
And we all
that included
together.
the six black. It was you, AC, Red, Ryan, and Joe. That was it in our grade for the longest. Yeah. There was no black.
We set our own table at the lunchroom.
Our own table.
Wow.
So we had to. And looking back on it now.
So now I'm getting, this is, for those that don't know, I didn't go. So in middle school, y'all, for the listeners and watchers, in middle school, they went to what was called, was it Gurley Middle?
Madison County.
It was Madison County in middle school? Oh,
yeah.
Okay, my bad. So they went to Madison County, and I went to a school that was called Central.
Central.
Yeah, it's a piece of shit. It fucking sucks. Like, I'm about to get mad. Fuck Central. Fuck Central. Bro, that was the worst time of my life. 7th grade was hell. 8th grade was hell. All right? All that shit was, 6th grade was hell. Like, it was fucking bad. But we'll leave it at that. So, they went there. I went there. Continue.
Yeah. I mean, we was the only 6, man, and like looking back on it, that could have been like a bad experience for all of us at that particular time.
Yeah.
But you know, at that time, it wasn't. We don't see the world as we see it now as adults. So like, that was it, and then we merged with you guys in Central, so the color population kind of went up just a little bit.
Like 3.
Yeah, just a little bit.
And the crazy part was a lot of the Central people were related to folks from Gurley. So it's like, it wasn't like we didn't know about each other. And then Madison County played Central in sports and stuff like that, like basketball. And
he bust y'all ass in basketball my 8th grade year.
Probably so. I mean, I wouldn't.
I didn't think. We played at Central, and I still remember this. I think the ball was going out of bounds or something, and I think T did something. Oh, T, you remember T, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he went to save the ball, and he grabbed her like he saved the ball with like one hand, threw it back at AC, and it hit AC. The AC went over there and grabbed him like during the game. Oh no, that's not what it was. I think T was dribbling. You know, AC was kind of bulky there. AC like kind of pushed his chest into him and kind of like knocked him out. And T threw the ball at him there, and AC like just grabbed him like that.
Oh shit.
This was at Central.
And see, that's what I regret. That's one thing that I regret as a kid, like adolescent or whatever the word is. I regret not being as involved. I regret not being as involved early on. But the bad part about that is that trait followed me through school. Like that trait, I had become like a loner. And I was the only child, so it's like most of my friends would become like brothers or sisters. Like we'd be tight, like mad tight. I'm like, shit, I can only trust who I could trust. And then being a black boy, at a white school like that, you know, it was hard to be. I mean, you know, like you have white friends. It's not like you can't have white friends. I got plenty. I think, but now maybe not as much because I've been pretty honest about how I feel about a lot of shit that's going on currently. But I'm also more freed as a result of that instead of me trying to hide who I am, how I feel, where I come from. Because if I gotta hide who I am to appease you, to make you feel better, then obviously we're not on the same page.
Right.
So, but yeah, I wish I would have gone to more basketball games and middle school football games and stuff like that. Now, in high school, I was in the band, so I was at everything. I had everything going on. Like I was real freaking busy. So a lot of these places, y'all hearing us talk about football games, stuff like that. The 3 of us were usually at the same place. We just had like Jay was like equipment manager or something like that. He was gonna play ball, but he like tore his ACL or messed up his ankle or something like that. Or what was it? No.
I just was like, fuck it. I'm not playing football. I was out there. I mean, it was just something I never really desired. I almost played the first year Coach Poole took over because we actually had a resemblance.
The squad, bro.
Yeah, we was actually, that's when the tables are starting to turn. You know,
they would have been a badass tight end.
Oh yeah,
that's why
fucking huge. Like everybody was out there. Nigga, I played all spring, and then I just left again. I said, fuck it, I ain't doing this shit no more.
Yeah.
Like, the last time I played prior to that was like middle school. I played for
Coach Reeves.
Yup. That's who I played for. I played for him.
Mario.
Yes. I played under Coach Reeves. I played under him in middle school. And then I failed. Like my grades was slipping, so they took me off the team. But honestly, I didn't really give a shit because I was so out of shape in middle school. It was bad. But I had gotten in good shape as a result of playing ball. And that, I mean, you know, before that I was a baller. Like, okay, backstory. I'm from Huntsville, Alabama. But by way of Scottsboro, Alabama. So like when I was in Scottsboro, I was a baller. Like I was a dog, like a boy. Like I would hit the shit out of you and then be straight. Like we would just, you know, it was the same story with you and Jay. It was only like 4 or 5 of us that was running around doing shit. We had black folks, but we were in separate schools. So I spent
that to like Stevenson.
About 30 minutes from Stevens.
Man,
they put something in them boys, water boy, them North Jackson boys, them boys big.
Yeah, man, them North Jackson niggas was ridiculous, bro.
Country strong. They look like they about 40 years old playing football. Dallas Carter from fucking Friday Night Lights. Them.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of like a depiction of if anybody's ever not needs an understanding of how big they were. They were huge.
Them boys are big.
Big dudes.
Ridiculous.
Knock the shit out your ass. Like
they always had like someone that was going D1 like somewhere. Like
Alabama.
they always had somebody. Ali Sharif, Tanner Patrick. Like it's a lot of them like, you know, they went off and I'm just like, damn. I used to dread like every time we get ready to play North Jackson, I'm like, fuck, we gotta. Because I used to have to, you know, be out there, you know, just watching it. Because I remember being out there, man. I knew exactly like what our team was because I would be out there watching them practice, and I'm just like, man, I'm like, it's gonna be a long week, like, because especially if it was North Jackson week, you know, it was finally fun to finally see us beat fucking East Limestone, the damn Florida State looking niggas.
They was crying and shit.
I bet that shit was nice.
That shit felt good, man, because they had that little.
We beat them at East Limestone.
Yes.
Oh yeah. Like we had got the band and shit together. Like I had the whole drum line on point, and so we was killing. They had like a whole fucking aim before us. It was like me, Lil Red, Brandon, and Andrew that year. So it was it was just us 4, and so like it was us 4 versus like a 40-piece fucking band, you know.
They had that drumline band over there.
Yeah, they had sounds, but they ain't have no talent for real. Like they was all doing like robotic shit. So it's like everything we had was like creative. Like it was like fast responding, and they couldn't keep up with it. And so like they would come over and be cool. You know, like, man, how y'all do what y'all do? I'm like, man, shit, like I do this. The fuck? Like I've been doing this. I've been doing this shit since before like any of you motherfuckers thought about the shit. But here's a question I got, man. Which one did you dread more, Gaiter? Was it playing against North Jackson or Alexander? Which one was the worst? Because Alexander at the time was number 1 in the state, I believe. So, like,
that wasn't even fair. It wasn't even fair when he played against them, man.
Man, this shit was rough, bro.
They made North Jackson look small.
Wow. Okay.
They goddamn kicker, they goddamn punter was like at least 6'6", bro.
6.
The quarterback was like 6'5", like 230. The running back was like 220. They were like huge. Big tall. The whole team was big for no reason.
When I seen him kick off, when I seen him punt and kick, I was like, oh, bro.
Yeah.
This ain't no.
I mean, kicked the ball and wasn't even running. He kicked the ball.
Just went sky high in the air. I was like, bro.
It disappeared, bro. It went outside the lights. Like, this shit just went away.
You know why we played them, though, right? Alexander?
We lost to because we had lost to
New Hope.
New Hope.
And,
Yep.
East Limestone got our seed. You know why we lost to New Hope, though, right?
No.
Majority of the team was drunk.
Did not know that.
I did not know that either.
I didn't either. I wasn't drinking in high school. I didn't know that.
Wow, the backstory. So do tell more. Like please. I mean, that you told us, but like, what happened for?
Like majority of the team was like I think they went and got drunk or whatever.
Jay, you know what that sound like, right?
Like
Varsity Blues.
Yes. See, we would have won the money, bro.
When they went to the strip club that night, and they was like, we got a game.
Bro, we should have bust New Hope's ass.
Man, hell yeah. Bro, we was watching the game, me and Jay. I mean, you know, I'm in band and shit, but I'm like, bro, we was trying to figure out what the fuck was going on. I was just like, New Hope, though? And then, like, Cam was just running all over y'all ass.
Yeah. My ass a dart everywhere.
He was a dog, bro.
Cam was just running. I was like, hit him. Do something. Hit him.
Most of the team was, like, drunk, man.
I can believe it now, just going back and seeing who our damn starters was, and and
so like when we played Alexandria or whatever, I guess I wonder like when we went to play Alexandria or whatever, like we changed the whole offense. Like, we went to spread, like they didn't even give AC the ball or nothing. We got spread with TJ. I think Coach Pooh was like punishing the seniors for that shit.
Yeah, he was mad because I had conditioning PE with Coach Pooh. But he had made an arrangement with me where I didn't do, which looking back on it now, it's kind of like, damn, I should have took the free workouts because, you know, workouts was free. Well, looking at it as a kid, I was, back then, shit, I don't got to work out. All I got to do is fucking do what I do after school, but get a grade for it and watch time. So he would have me get the game plans. A lot of the people didn't know, like he would have me getting the game plans and shit ready. Like he would have me like taking notes with him and shit, and he was like going in the next week that following Monday that we lost to New Hope when we found out our seeding. He was like, we lost to fucking New Hope. He was like, we shouldn't even be playing this goddamn team. Like he was going in. Like he was mad. He was mad as fuck.
We should have got to see East Limestone guy. East Limestone won like 2 games in the playoffs, so we beat them.
Yep.
Yeah. So would we have eventually had to meet Alexander anyway?
If we would have went all the way. I don't know who won state that year.
It's just presumed that they won. You know, it's just an assumption that they won. We have to look that up because after we got knocked out, I was just like, bro, I kind of like lost track of it. I didn't keep up with it, but I would assume
I remember that East Limestone had went to like the 3rd round, and man, that's some bullshit. That was our season.
Yeah. Goddamn, man, we was supposed to be because I remember it was like the score was like 44-34 or some shit like that, like the New Hope game.
I was coming onside kick, but I tested too early.
Oh yeah, I remember that. I remember that whole weekend specifically because what people don't know, AC was like still getting recruited by like Vanderbilt. So I had already went on a recruiting trip with him to the game when they played Tennessee State. But he was going to take me and Tercel that Saturday to when Florida came to play Vanderbilt. Florida was coming to Nashville and everything. He already had the tickets and everything. And we woke up the next day. We was hitting up AC. We was like, AC, wake up. Like, AC, hey, we still going? Bruh, we was so hurt, man, because he was I know he was I think he came out and revealed that he was hurt or he was still mad as hell from losing against New Hope. New Hope, because we were supposed to go that weekend, and
we were supposed to go the next day because we was bummed out that we lost, but we were still excited because we knew we had a trip for the whole next day. It was like, well, shit, we lost, but shit, at least we're gonna be in Nashville tomorrow, just doing shit. And so we went to sleep early and everything. Like we normally on Friday nights we go out or go to the movies after the games or some shit like that because it would always be. Bro, that's what I miss about high school, bro. Like, it used to be lit in the fall. It would be lit. They had, like, Texas Chainsaw Massacre come out or fucking Grindhouse or, like, it would be like
one of the
kind
saws.
yeah, like
Yeah.
like one of the saws, like, and we would just all like pile in cars and just go do shit. And then like at the football games, everybody used to hang at McDonald's. Like they would hang at
Yep.
McDonald's. Madison County would hang at McDonald's. Buckhorn would hang at Taco
Buckhorn to
Bell.
pop up. Yep.
Or they
Yep.
would
At
pop
Taco
up and
Bell.
we'd go back and forth. I think a couple of times we tried to go over to Taco Bell, but it wasn't the same vibe. So
Yeah.
but that
Yeah.
was when Taco
Definitely
Bell was
vibe.
like, it ain't there no more though. Like now it's like down. It's closer to, there's like a Mapco and all that shit down there now. Gator.
Yeah,
Yeah,
70,
I see
72 is like
Yeah.
unrecognizable now, bro.
It's not even the same place.
Yeah, girl, you got a Popeyes now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who would have thought? Out of
would've
fucking
thought?
Popeyes. Out of everything out there. But the last question on the docket, man, before we go and transition to the lighter side, what's next for you? As far as business, personal, what's next for you?
Man, I kind of want to start my own movement. I do want to start my own movement company. Man. I don't want to go into too many details with it because it's something I want to do, but I want to share what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to change up the moving game.
Okay.
Based on how it is now. So, keep your eyes open for that one.
You did the moving thing for a good minute too, didn't you? Didn't you do the
I
2
used to
men
work
in the truck?
Yeah, I used to work at a moving company, so that's why I learned a lot of stuff from that. So I already got all my moving supplies and stuff. It's in the storage unit right now. I'm just waiting for the time to start.
Okay. That's what's up, man. Black excellence in here. Doing what we
excellence.
do.
The only way.
Doing what we do.
Apparently, side note, Hoover won that year in 4A.
Hoover was 4A?
Apparently, it says Hoover won its second title in 3 years, and UMS Wright repeated as Class 4A champs. Hoover
It was USMS, right?
Yeah. Okay.
Hey, them niggas was big too, man. They, I think they were like in Mobile. I think them the Mobile niggas.
I always heard them, and I always heard Deshler and Demopolis.
Yep, D-Mop and Deshler. Yep.
Yeah, Deshler.
They were always good.
They beat Oneida, Oniona. They beat them 30-7.
Yeah, hey, I know about Oniana because they beat the shit out of Buckhorn that one year when Buckhorn went to the state championship. I think it wasn't even close. I think it was like, they beat the shit out of Buckhorn. That's how I know about Onianta or however you spell their name or say their name, whatever.
Oniata. Dang.
Wow, you missed right. Yeah, I think we played them in basketball when we got that state championship. I think that was one of the teams we beat to get to the state championship in basketball. So I'm not surprised about football that they're good as well.
Nah, most schools like that develop powerhouses on both sides. So it's like the athletes are just bred to be great, and booster clubs and people like that, they put a lot of backing behind it. So like at the time when we were coming through, it was in developmental mode. When we first got there, it wasn't shit. It was just kind of just like we barely had a football field. We had dirt. We didn't really have grass for real. Like I think sophomore year or junior year is when we actually got like logos on the field. We had like the LSU Tiger Eye or something like that in the middle. And because I'm an art stickler, so I was like when we started getting like that, I'd be like, that's what's up. But we had that, and I think like the junior year was like the most promising year because I think we went 5-6 or 6 and 5.
Yeah. 5-5.
5-5.
Yeah,
and that was
6-5.
Yeah,
I'll
and
still
that was
go away from making the playoffs.
Yeah, that was the year that everything started to turn around. Like everybody had came out for football. Like basketball players was out there. It was crazy. We had a new coach.
Oh yeah, Blake.
Yep.
Everybody was out there, and it made you want to stay, but then you had to just be real with yourself. I was just like, man, you ain't gonna. I just couldn't commit.
Coach Hill was like, all right, y'all, I need to quit playing, get back on the court.
Pretty much.
Yeah, I remember that.
Boomer stayed though. Boomer should have been playing football.
Yeah, he was like a fullback.
But he was athletic.
Yeah, motherfucker was like just didn't stretch or nothing, would just play like Boobie Miles, but not as good as Boobie Miles, but like He was definitely athletic though. He was like, you know, he hit you.
We're gonna switch to words that come to mind. Tech, do you want to explain how that works?
All right, so here we go. Words that come to mind is exactly what it sounds like. If I say, let's just say if I say the word hot, you would say it could be a phrase, it could be an instant word, or it could just be a time in your life when that word makes you have like a certain reflection. So there's no wrong answer. You literally just say exactly, yeah, right. Hey, the pressure's off. Like, you know, you just say exactly what you're thinking. It's like, oh, okay, damn. So you just go in with it.
All right.
Y'all ready for it?
Yes, sir.
You want me to lead or you want to lead off?
I lead off.
Go crazy.
Shower.
Yeah, I gotta take a shower after this.
This dude.
That's real.
See, that's a perfect example. When I think about shower, the first word that comes to mind is relaxation. Because relaxation and then often it's actually kind of like it's a two-way street for me. In the morning, it's like a kickstart. Like most of the time I pop up and I go do I run 2 miles and then come back straight. I'll stretch, run 2 miles, come back, stretch again, and then get in the shower, and then my day is started. So most of the time, if I'm on point, I probably pop up at like 4, 5, run before the sun hits, and then I'm back, and then I'm off to work or whatever it is I got to do on the day. At night, after a long day, a good cold. I like cold showers because, fun fact, have y'all heard of Wim Hof? So it's this thing called the Wim Hof method. Wim Hof is the dude that he's from. I think he might be from Antarctica, but he trains people's minds and shit in Antarctica with like, you know, the waters there are like, you know, 20 degrees most of the time. Like, and that's as high as it usually gets. But what it does is you being in water that cold, it teaches your nervous system how to deal with stress, like instantly, because you're always thinking, you know what I'm saying? And then it makes you realize that cold is truly a state of mind. More so that, I mean, you feel cold, yes, of course, obviously, but it really kind of sort of is like a split. Like you really ain't cold for real because you actually start to get warm when you do certain breathing methods when you're in the water. I had to send y'all some links to videos on how he does his shit. But if you here's a free plug. Y'all know who Gwyneth Paltrow is?
I do.
Gwyneth Paltrow is an actress. Well, you know, white lady. I think she got red hair. But she has a show on Netflix called The Goop Lab, GOOPLAB. One of his episodes is on there, but I mean, it's a lot of different mental stuff. All right. Braids.
Culture.
Kawhi Leonard.
Oh, very good.
That's good. That's good.
Very good.
That's good. Yeah, I like that. I'll take that. That's good.
My man got 8 braids.
Man, and ain't changed them.
And ain't changed them. Had them in college and everything at San Diego State. Still the same length, the same style. He never do any type of designs. Is straight to the back. Straight back.
I often wonder what his mental makeup is like. Like, what is his thought process on like how he does stuff? Y'all know he still got the same whip since he been in school.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Yeah. 1997 Jeep Cherokee.
Like he humble as fuck.
Or Tahoe or something like that. I was like, that's tight.
They claimed it like he low key, like he funny, whatever. But I guess he just like he's quiet funny. Like
I've heard that too. I've heard that he's funny.
You can tell when he does his little interviews and stuff because he'll be like subtle with a lot of the like. Y'all remember that? I don't know which game it was. It came out of the game and it was like a bottle of Gatorade on the table, and then he leaned down. He was like, "I'm not sponsored by Gatorade." He took it off the table.
like shit like that.
Yeah, that's tight. That's sat. I like satire, bro. That's dry. I like that.
All that laugh.
How about this? Madison County High.
Make sure all y'all out here winterizing. Words of Mr. Freddie Hargett.
Get your schedules.
Making up words.
You scared, Jews. He used to tell me all the time, you got to take your head cover off now and come in here. I used to have on a do-rag. I used to have them waves in high school, boy. Like, I'm locked down now, but boy had them 360s back in school. Couldn't tell me shit. I was like, I forgot it was on because I would wake up out the bed and just come to school and be like in there in class with it on. And then he'd be like, you got to take your head cover off. Take your head.
You get that big ass wave cap line on your forehead.
Yeah, right here. Like, right it straight across. And this shit be tied so damn tight. That's about how Kenny had his shit. Kenny used to try to wear his shit in school all the time. Like, he would do the little ball in the back. And then he was like, I'm like, bro. And then he would get away with it, though. His ass would get, like, some kind of way. They would, like, not notice it until damn near lunch. Like, I'm like, yo ass, bro.
I didn't know y'all were wearing do-rags.
Yeah, I used to wear mine in the morning. Like, I would just be in the lunch because, you know, you would get to school, from what I remember, you get to school, and then we come in. If you drive and you come in the back way to the lunchroom, everybody went to the lunchroom. But, we just be in there chilling. Y'all remember that fight with Chris Shepard and
Michael Weed?
Yeah.
How can you not?
That was
probably one of the best fights.
That was an epic fight. That was a good fight.
That might have been top 5. That might have been top 5, at least during the time that we were in high school.
Here's the kicker. It didn't have to happen.
And do you know why it happened?
Have to happen.
Oh.
Do you know why it happened?
Give it to us.
I don't even know the backstory.
Mr. Ryan Cross. That's why it happened.
I knew
Ryan instigated that shit.
Yeah.
Ryan, if you listen to this, you know what you did. You know what you did that day. You know what you did. But now,
that motherfucker was laughing. He was laughing too when he did it, bro. It was funny.
It was funny. It was funny because it didn't, like you said, it didn't have to happen. All he was doing, Ryan kept throwing shit at Michael Weed. But some reason, Michael Weed had it in his head that Chris Shepard was the one that was throwing the stuff. But it was Ryan that was throwing, that was doing it. And then
you realize Ryan was 6'5".
Yeah, that is true. That is true. Ryan was a big nigga and still is. That is true.
Chris wasn't short though.
No, he wasn't.
Chris
wasn't.
Was like 6'2", 3", something like that.
Right.
I just don't think Michael Weed just probably didn't like Chris. I think they probably had like a history.
They had some kind of something else going on.
Yeah, they both came from Central.
Yeah.
They did come with, man, we ended up getting paddled. Like, I chose to get paddled. I didn't want to be at home for like 2 days and fuck around Miss Lesson playing. He tore my ass up. That shit hurt.
Oh, I got a paddle.
I done had several. Back when they used to choose corporal punishment, I would choose that shit over being
Are you listening to us right now? We're talking about getting fucking paddlings, bro.
Yeah.
Do you know, like it's funny, like when that was apparently not every school did that. Like I guarantee you, if I told Jatan right now, I'm like, yeah, they used to give us paddlings at school. She'd be like, what the fuck?
Yeah. People lose their minds when we told them that.
Yeah. And it's just like, it's just crazy. Like, you can dare get away with that now. There's no way that is happening in today's, society as far as getting
hell no. It'll never happen again.
Yeah, but I just wanted to, point that out. We literally are here talking about getting fucking paddlings and shit. Because I've had my paddlings. I had a paddling too, in school.
Dude, at the basketball team in middle school, got a paddling one time. Me, Joe, AC.
Tell him why, Gaiter. Tell him why.
Yeah.
So it had started, at the basketball game. I was just fucking with Joe. I was like, yeah, Joe, I farted in your drink and made a bubble. That ain't even possible. We all know you can't fart in a can and make it bubble. That ain't even possible.
Because it's already carbonated.
Exactly. But I told him that for dramatic effect or whatever. He took it to the heart, whatever. So this motherfucker retaliated on me. So that year we were rocking yellow jerseys. So I had this badass yellow Nike headband I used to rock. It makes it crispy. After every game, I was sticking back in the packaging. So this motherfucker took my headband one day, dipped it in a cup of piss. You remember Anthony Barnes, right?
Yeah.
Paul. He pissed in the cup and Joe dipped it in the cup.
That's a whole nother level of hate right there, bro. First off. God, dog. So he put it in there, and you smell. You saw him do it, or you smelled it and knew it was piss.
Bro, I put it on my head.
Oh shit, bro.
Didn't know it. I just thought it was wet from the sweat the day before. I said, damn, I perspired a lot.
Come on, fam.
Damn. Put it on. Damn, that shit dripping.
Yeah, put it on.
I mean, the headband yellow, so you can't tell.
Yeah, you can't. Oh, that's fucked up, bro. That's coronavirus.
Exactly. And then AC got one too for smacking clay with clay.
That shit was funny.
This man literally picked some clay up, some red dirt off the ground, and smacked the shit out of clay.
Clay was crying.
Because he saw the movie How High.
Yeah, there was a phase you remember that phase, Gator? Like everybody was pouring out baby powder and shit.
Yeah.
Until like they about to, that was a phase. And then and people be fighting too, man, because people come up randomly behind you and smack you in the back of the neck and shit.
Yep.
Like
that was high school.
Man, you talking about you talking about fights and shit getting broken? Yeah.
I think it phased out like our junior year. Because we did it for like 2.5 years or Knicks. What we call it? Nick?
Yeah, some. Yeah, it was something like that.
I wear polos every day.
Man,
yep.
Bro, you walk like you got something going like, man, I'm just chilling.
It gets my neck today.
Yeah, you be like, I'm going down the hall real quick. You know what I'm saying? Shit. I got one. Canterbury Tales.
Canterbury Tales?
Canterbury Tales.
Whack.
Is that a movie?
Nah, it was a story we had to read in high school. I was trying to mostly fucking with Jay because I know he.
You remember that shit?
I said that shit.
Whack. Gator, you remember that the Homer? That shit, Homer and it's one of those the Odyssey. That shit.
Uh-huh.
That's what. Yeah. You remember that shit?
We read that in school.
Yeah, it was like literature. It was I forgot what year it was. It was like
I remember the one. I remember the one we had the tuba in there. You remember that one?
Yes.
That was his.
Yes.
I can't remember the name of that one though. Was that Canterbury Tales?
I want to say because the Canterbury Tales was a lot of stories compiled into like one.
Yeah,
it was like you had the Odyssey, you had the Canterbury Tales, and you had something else, but it was basically like the Trojans and shit. Like it was like it was like ancient Rome and all of that bullshit. It was unnecessary. Whack. That's why I said it was whack.
It was pretty corny.
It was up there with Shakespeare for me.
I got in trouble for being condescending relating to the story because Miss Hass was like my character that I had to read about was called the Miller. And I'll be honest with y'all, man, I didn't read it. I think I probably read like if it was 6 pages, I probably read like 8 pages, and I tried to like.
I didn't read none of those books in high school.
Nah, not me either. For real. Like
I
wasn't a big reader like that in high school. Like honestly, after my grandma had died in '98 of breast cancer, like she was a teacher, and she was a teacher at the school that I went to in Scottsboro, like K-4. So after she died, my desire for school and education was always up there because I always wanted to learn something. But ironically, I didn't want to go to school anymore. I had learned that later in life. Like when you realize where all your past traumas are and stuff like that, or they kind of start to funnel in like, damn, that's probably why I stopped doing this. That's probably why I stopped doing that. And so like after she died, I was just like, fuck school, fuck life, fuck everything. So with high school, I pretty much was just getting by. Like I was just trying to find ways I was working hard, trying not to work. For real. But I was a smart kid because I knew all the shit that they was throwing at me. It would just be stress. You get stressed out early with,
right.
You in high school, man, shit bothers you differently than it does when you become an adult. Motherfuckers joking on you. And if you don't have certain clothes and shit like that, or like, something like our generation, was ruthless, man. Like they would joke on you based on what your living conditions were and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Like you might live in a trailer, or you might live in the projects, or you might live. You know what I'm saying? They would flame you for that shit. And
yeah, we used to flame AC's I think it was his uncle or somebody living in that blue trailer. We
Oh
called him
yeah.
we called him nigga in the big blue trailer.
it ain't funny, but it is.
That was some fucked up ass shit.
That be the shit I'm talking about. Be like a whole nother level of hate, bro. That is a whole nother level of hate. Like
we was some ruthless kids.
Ruthless, man. Ruthless.
We didn't care.
That's a whole nother level of hate right there.
Yeah.
That's a whole nother level.
Shout out to AC, man. Wherever he at.
He has a cop now.
Yeah, AC is like
or something, ain't he?
Huh?
In like South Carolina, North Carolina, Kentucky, or something.
I think it's South Carolina. Yeah.
Yeah. He got married and stuff too, right? Cool.
Yeah, AC got kids and everything now, I think.
Wow.
He got 2, I think.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy how life changes. Like old buddy said in Friday Night Lights, man. Number babies and memories at the hospital.
It's true. Babies and memory.
Babies and memory. Get you one of these, Christian. Get you one of these. Christian, Ira, boys.
One of these.
Last word, spirituality. Throw a zinger in there. Anybody?
Ooh. I don't know, faith.
All right, it's real.
Nah, denomination.
Okay then.
Okay.
Yeah, I work with it. Yeah, I was gonna say next level.
Yeah, man. We're gonna do this or that.
Shit.
All right.
This is a part of the show we like to call this or that. You know what I'm saying? Drop fire. Pyro. This is literally as well exactly what it sounds like. When you used to play the combination game in high school or whatever, it's like, would you rather have this or would you rather have that? You'd be like, you want $1 million, or do you want to have expense paid land with milk and honey running out the walls or some shit like that? You know, like creative imagination type shit. You can lead it off, Jay. Kick us off.
All right, man. So I'll go ahead and lead off with like an example, and this can be one of mine too. So, vodka or rum?
Uh-oh.
Rum all day, man.
Why you choose rum?
And vodka hurts. After about age 21, 22, vodka hurts.
I think that's the reason why I quit drinking early, because in high school it did me in. I was like, yeah, this ain't for me.
Vodka is very potent.
I would have to agree with you on that, Gator. I'm gonna have to choose rum, man. Now, now that we are in our 30s, rum is a little bit more kinder to me. I find myself actually, I have rum right now. I have rum in the kitchen now that's, Bacardi and whatnot. So it seems like, as younger, vodka was it. You either had vodka or you either had dark. You didn't really have, many people didn't really bring rum or have rum to the parties and whatnot. So I'm fucking with rum heavy, because you can kind of drink rum on its own, especially if you get like the pineapple. The pineapple, the flavor kind, you could drink those, with no problem. But that vodka, good luck.
Drinking beer and shit like that to party, like, or Irish Rose. Like we bring whatever we get our hands.
Wild Irish Rose. Wild
Irish Rose. I used
to 2020.
Mad Dog 2020, goddamn.
Mad Dog 2020.
I used to drink in high school. I used to drink Steel Reserves 211.
211.
That shit scrap iron, boy. That shit turn you into a man.
The bottom of the barrel.
Bro, I used to come to basketball games lit. Like I would pull up, I would drink about 2 tall boys. And so the first one, I would chug that one at the crib, and then I would get in the car and drive and just sip the second 211 all the way to the game. So by the time I got to the game, I would just be in there, bitch, like, what's going on? Like, I'm just rolling. I'm in there rolling, bro. hot.
211 lit.
Sweating. I'm in there buying popcorn and shit, trying to get it to absorb, and that wasn't working. It was stupid. It was like some of the dumbest shit in the world. When I look back at it, I was just like, damn, I was depressed. I was like showing up to basketball games sad and drunk. And then like me and Jay would always joke on like the older people that would come to the basketball games and shit, and we'd be like, yeah, the has-beens. And then and then we fucked around and graduated, and it's like, damn, we the has-beens. That shit was reality check. Would you rather have middle or high school?
High school.
Okay.
High school.
I'm gonna go high school too. Middle school was a rough patch, boy. I hated middle school. Shit was trash.
Yeah, I mean, my middle school memories wasn't all
see,
that
I
great.
thought y'all's middle school, like when I listened to y'all's story, it sounded like it was lit.
Oh, it was some good fights. AC and Red, you always fight.
Oh yeah, you talk about that. All right, they had a rivalry. Okay, think of the AC and Red rivalry. Think of it as Duke versus North Carolina. Think of it as Alabama versus Auburn. Think of it. That's the type of rivalry. Think of it as Batman and Joker. They always the arch enemies. They were arch enemies. Like they would have moments to where they would get along, but then when they didn't, it was ugly. I remember that one time AC smacked Red in the cafeteria. I never forget it.
He smacked the shit out of Red.
He smacked the shit out of Red, and Red got up and ran.
I remember that shit. I'm like, where you going? AC like Red at his face.
Right, because nobody knew what Red ran off to, because we thought he ran home. Like we thought he literally ran off, and AC had to go and chase him down, so because he thought he was gonna tell on him. That's what it was. He thought he was about to.
Like, man, you just let that man's tongue out of his mouth. He should be telling us.
Yeah. They had their battles, man. I never forget. I never forget when they got into it. They got into it in literature one time. No, in history. They got into
Coach class. I was I heard the fucking desk slide and shit. I'm like, what the fuck is that?
That shit was so funny, man. And all it was they was fighting over a fucking seat. Like one of them set their books down first, and the other person sat down. So they were. I think Red put his books down, but AC sat down. And you know, AC is a troll. AC was a bully. AC was a troll at that point. So he said something. So Red literally pacing back and forth in the classroom. And I was like, Red, what the hell is wrong with you, bro? He's like, and then next thing you know, he came to AC. and AC just, you know, AC's go-to move was the choke. You know, that was his first thing. You know, Gary, that was the first thing he used to do is the choke.
That's what he did to see me through that basketball. He started choking.
You know, that was his go-to. So he got Red all choked up in there, and then Coach Locke had to break up the fight. And then do you remember Gaiter? AC called himself getting revenge and.
In the locker room.
In the locker room.
We cut the lights out.
Tech. So listen to this. So we in the locker room, right? And AC don't talk Joe into like cutting off the lights because everybody was like, all right, AC about to get red. We just didn't know when. So we in the locker room. And then all of a sudden, they in the middle, the lights fucking go out. Somebody turns off the lights, which was Joe. And then the lights just come on, and you just see AC got Red in that chokehold.
You might give it at the choke slam or something.
Oh man, that was so funny. I never forget. It was just again, they were arch enemies.
The
I
Red
never
and
forget that
AC
shit.
stories.
The Red AC stories, man. We can go on and on, man, about that. They had their battles. It was hilarious.
He said the light went out and they came on. He was in a chokehold.
He was, and everybody was like, "Oh, AC." Everybody just started walking out. You remember that game? Everybody started walking. It was like, "Oh, yeah." Because everybody knew that was cheap, you know. Everybody, because everybody knew it was gonna be a fight because he kept telling everybody, "I'm gonna get red today."
He said everybody's like, "Oh."
Because he told me, he was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna get that nigga red back." And I was like, "All right." And I was like, "What you want me to do about it?" So he telling literally everybody in PE class, because it wasn't a coincidence that everybody just so happens to be in the locker room when it took place. Everybody was just waiting on something to go down. And then, except for Red. Red was the only oblivious one out of everything. So everybody just sitting there waiting on the show, and then Joe turned off the light, and then the light turned back on, and the AC just got red and the chokehold. It was just like, we was just like, everybody started walking out.
I got one. Air Force One, the Reebok Classic.
Okay.
Ooh,
that's tough.
I was on Reebok Classics heavy at one point.
Same year.
Oh man. That is a good.
It's hard.
I had Reebok Classics.
I had both at one point in time. Not at the same time, but I had one at one point and one at another.
Right. I had Reeboks. I had Reeboks in my early years, and then when I started buying my own shoes, I had them. And then when I started buying my own shoes, I started getting Forces. If I had to choose today, I would have to easily say Forces. But man, you couldn't tell me Reebok Classics. You couldn't tell me you wouldn't own if you had your pair. You couldn't tell.
Right.
You know?
I'm gonna go with Forces because I was real heavy on Jeezy back then. And I was old school savvy, the drop top Porsches. So you talking about the black?
Nice.
I like the black Porsches. And I would rock them. I think I had I had a pair of
all black
tops with the strap. Yep. I used to wear them to football practice, but I would wear them to practice and take them off. Of course, put cleats on. But I used to wear those. It was like a little ritual I had before every practice and shit. Helped me get through it mentally. Because I was playing for all the wrong reasons. I was actually trying to like lose weight, and I was trying to network. Like I was trying to figure out what was next for like college and stuff like that. So I was trying to figure out what was going to be the next thing. And so I was like, if I play football again, then that'll help me develop, you know what I'm saying, business sense. I had like this plan. This shit did not work. You was just like, nah, this ain't it. It's like either you love it or you don't. I'm like, I do not love this shit no more. I had to walk away from it. But I'll tell you, the reason why I quit that year wasn't because it's like I didn't want to play, but I was going to continue. Like I was going to finish the year. I was going to do the year and then just walk away from it and be done for life. But I was mad as fuck when I thought we had to have practice the day that we had picture day, because they told us that all we was doing was taking pictures and then we was going to go to the rec and the girly to have pizza and chill. Now I don't know if that still happened or not after I left. And when I found out we was about to, this is the other part. I found out we were supposed to have practice. They said we wasn't gonna have practice. And then when I came back, I had been gone for like a day and a half because I either got sick or I don't know what happened. It was 2 days I was gone. When I came back, my locker, all my shit was gone. Like my helmet was gone. My shoulder pads was gone. The only thing that was still in there that was mine was my cleats, because I paid for them. But it's like all my shit had been moved around. And then like I was number 60. They took my fucking jersey. Somebody had my jersey. And when I asked Coach Salisbury about it, was it Salisbury? Wasn't he like one of the
Coach
coaches or some shit? Yeah, I asked him. I was like, yo, where's all my shit? He's like, that's what happens when you don't come to practice. I was like, I was gone for 2 days. And he was like, well, he's like, if you don't tell anybody where you at, where are you supposed? I was like, so if I don't come to practice for 1 day, I could expect my pads to be gone and I was like, how the fuck am I gonna practice and do all this shit now? And I was like, you know what? Fuck it, I got an idea. Then I got in my Oldsmobile and I took off, bro. I took off. Oh, mad as shit.
I remember that day.
Oh, mad as fuck, bro. Then here's the kicker. It was just a picture day. They told us that we had practice and we really didn't have practice, and I missed the damn picture. So I put in all that work, didn't even get in the picture, bro. So like if I tell people that I played ball in high school like for a short stint, they can easily just not believe me. They'd be like, well, you ain't in none of the pictures. I'd be like, no, I played. Hold up. You know what I'm saying? I had concussions and all types of shit going on. I just didn't reveal it. I had I had gotten concussed at one point and everything. Lights was bright and shit. My head was hurting. I had all types of shit going on. But back then, there weren't concussion protocols. Wasn't a thing. You could play with it.
Yep.
So there's that. That was a good one though.
Yeah. Hell.
Shit. Yeah, go for it.
Cardio or weights?
Weight.
That's hard. I like cardio, but I do like weights. I like weights because they help with your weights help with you dealing with shit. You know what I'm saying? You can just push, everything you got, and then the results that you get from it be off the chain too.
Yeah, you can bulk or you can cut for weight.
Yep, if you do it right, you can superset. I did CrossFit for a little while, so I basically was just doing the same thing and doing both at the same time. I lost like 50 pounds doing that shit.
CrossFit.
Mm-hmm.
It's like Olympic lift, right? CrossFit.
Do what?
CrossFit ain't it like Olympic lift? Like
they got it mixed in. Like they have I like the workouts where they were called chippers, where you might have like 100 push-ups, 100 sit-ups, 50, 60 toes to bar, but it's like you chip away at it. So you might do like 10, like it teaches you how to break shit up on your own. So like you just basically, I would just take pictures of all the workouts on the board and then like just collect them in my phone and then print them off and have them in a book. That way I could just do them later. So whenever I go on trips and shit, I would just do modifications for stuff that I couldn't do. Like if I can't do pull-ups, I don't have no bar and nothing like that, I would just do push-ups instead or something like that. I would try to do something that was close to it. But calisthenics is the way to go though. Like that's the shit. Like that's the rest of your life right there. Mobility. Yeah. Like like body weight workouts, like air squats and all that type of shit. I mean, it's not the same as doing squats and shit like that with like 200 pounds or whatever. But it's, if you can't squat your own body weight or push yourself, then you know what I'm saying, you got work to do.
Right. Yeah.
Football or basketball?
Football.
That was easy.
That was too easy.
Dead giveaway.
Football.
Yeah.
I play football.
Why do you choose that?
It's crazy because I have more of a relationship with basketball because that's actually something that I played, competitively, organized and whatnot. So personally, like basketball is something I would personally like to like play and do, but football is just more entertaining for me to watch than basketball because, I'm heavily invested in college football. So college football, to me, NFL is a little small to me, as you know how I feel about the NFL. So, but college football is just, each game, it means something. And especially this year, especially with the conference only games and stuff for college football, it all means every game is all significant. There's no build up game or easy game.
Fair, though.
It isn't, man. It isn't. because you watching all these other conferences like the ACC have these these teams that they're playing these non-conference schedules, the Big 12, but the SEC only has a 10 game schedule, so it's going to be a lot of teams that get exposed, very quickly, and will it be a testament to how truly good the team is or not? We won't know, because training camp, there was really not, training camps was pretty much cut in half. There was no spring. That's very important. So what we're going to be seeing is a lot of players shaking off rust. And the first games for the SEC is going to be ugly, because
it's tough to watch. Ain't nobody there.
Yeah. I watched the ACC play. I watched some of the opening games this weekend. You can even tell, like, missing tackles, and it's just it's only so much you can simulate in practice,
It was hard.
And then when you don't have a tuner game to kind of get you used to that and break the kinks and all of that, it's gonna be sloppy. It'll get better.
Might not even be the true play of
right.
anybody, because they haven't, like you said, they haven't got a chance to fine tune anything. They just kind of going off a book. It's almost like what we talked about earlier. When you get your degree, and if you haven't touched a camera or contracts that relate to what you're doing, or worked on a truck or whatever, like if you haven't done anything with your hands, then you pretty much going in at cold turkey.
Right. What a piece of paper.
Right. This season is gonna be a struggle for a lot of folks. Like, it makes me wonder who's gonna be in the championship picture.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
College or NFL?
So what?
You talking about college or the NFL?
College. NFL, I honestly don't care with the NFL, because it just seems it's just hard to watch. You know what I'm saying? But it's weird without people for me. I'm an atmosphere kind of person, so
right. Yeah, they ain't like no fans, bro.
Yeah, bro. Like watching the game on Friday night. I mean, Monday nights used to be lit because Monday Night Football is a spectacle. So it's like something that everybody looks forward to at the start of the week. You got the crowd, you got the flyover. It's like it's an event. So it's an event for like the first 2 quarters, but then after that, it's pretty much the game or bust. But lately, it's just people who really want to be there type stuff. Like, it's almost like watching scrimmages.
Right.
Same thing for the NBA.
Are they gonna do a college football national championship and all that?
Yeah. The plan is the playoffs is going to happen as scheduled. I forgot the dates and whatnot, because
that's gonna be tough. It's some of the little smaller schools out there and stuff, they go undefeated.
Right.
Like a UCF or Houston sometimes pops up there.
Yeah, UCF is usually makes a pretty good statement every year. This, if this is gonna be their time, now's the time to do it.
Yeah, they always say the real.
They're not getting in if there's 2 undefeated of their 4 undefeated big schools.
Yeah. I think it definitely will be 2 SEC teams get in. I do know that for sure. It's probably going to be 2. Yeah, I think it will be, because the SEC right now, really, if you look at the ACC, there's Clemson and everybody else. Big 12, there's Oklahoma.
Notre Dame's in the ACC now.
That's right. I mean, yeah, I guess you could keep an eye on them.
They usually play a Big Ten schedule. They big ass went to the ACC.
Yep. Yeah, so, and then, now that I don't know what the Big Ten doing. They goofy asses. I don't know what they doing. They talking about they having the season now, but I don't know. So, I mean, as it stands right now, I honestly don't see, it's Clemson, because they don't really play nobody. If they play Notre Dame, that's going to be it, Big 12. Yeah. Oklahoma. Yeah. Maybe Texas.
Good play defense.
Exactly. So now you look at the SEC.
He's gonna score 50 points every game.
Running up. They're gonna be running.
it's gonna be hard to tell a 9-1 SEC school that likely may lose in a conference championship that they can't be in the playoff. And you got that 10-0 SEC team, so it's gonna be interesting.
Who's supposed to be good on the East? SEC East? Is it Florida?
Florida, there right now it's Florida and Georgia that's leading the pack. More so Florida because Georgia has apparently they quarterback decided to opt out last week. At a random time.
Oh,
He was supposed to be a Heisman finalist and everything because he was a transfer from Wake Forest, and the idea was if he gets surrounded by Georgia talent, he would be good, but he opted out, and it's some people are saying that he may have low key lost the quarterback job.
Excuse me.
Yeah, or you just opt out or you just transfer.
Yeah. Then then LSU, I don't know what the fuck going on at LSU right now. They got a lot of stuff. They got a lot of goofy shit going on. I don't know. I mean, their best player just opted out after he said he was gonna play, and then they got all these starters that are transferring to like smaller schools. Like there's a starter that actually transferred to UAB, and he was a slated starter for LSU. I don't know what they're not releasing or what's going on behind the scenes, but something ain't right with LSU right now.
That don't even seem right.
What do you think it is?
I don't know, man. I think it's something going on with the culture, dude. I don't know. I mean, they had a hell of a season last year. They probably had a season that they'll probably never ever see again. Not like that, They probably, because LSU is never really known to have good offense. That's just they known to like.
Last year.
Yeah. They had some shit going that we'll probably never see, at least in the near future. By LSU, they probably won't ever get a quarterback like Burrow again because I don't know what happened between him and the first year and the second year, but like he just went off.
Two different people.
Right, like. He went from not even being looked at to being drafted to the overall number 1 pick. So, and then the running back, he was showing out, with Kansas City. He was the running back.
Oh, he nice.
He nice, man. So they lost too much, man. They offensive coordinator, the defensive coordinator, like it's some weird shit going on at LSU right now. They basketball program, everybody knows the coach has been like playing the players. Like, they got a whole goddamn HBO documentary called the Scheme. What was it called? I think it's The Scheme or something like that. I'll have to send it to y'all. Y'all can watch it.
Yeah, I'm gonna catch it up.
Yeah. They got some. I think it's called The Scheme. You should watch it, man, because like it's basically talking about the college basketball, like the AAU, like getting people played and whatnot, and it's a lot of good stuff on there, and it's pretty much exposing some of those college coaches that got caught. Yeah, Rick Pitino's. Yeah, they talk about the FBI, all of that stuff, the raid, all of that stuff. So it's good. I think it's called The Scheme.
Play.
Yeah, but
I don't agree that they should be paying players, but I don't think they should, like, if you get caught, they should go back and disqualify you or like erase your games and shit like that, because I don't think they gave you a benefit to beat another team. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not like they're steroids.
Right. I like what they're doing. I know it hasn't been cleared everywhere yet, but I think California and Florida are the 2 main states that's already passed the law and approved it for next year. But I do like the thought of them getting paid for their likeness and stuff. So like, for the ones that's getting like caught up with signing art, getting paid to sign autographs and stuff, like, they get their eligibility revoked if they get caught because they're not deemed as amateurs anymore. So for them to get paid for their likeness, like, because these schools be making billions off these kids, especially
right.
especially the college basketball students, the ones, because March Madness, that's where their money come from. That's where the NCAA make all their money is from March Madness. contrary to popular belief, football is not what makes their money, because the college football playoff is not run by the NCAA. It's run by not academic advisors, but um, what's the word? Athletic ADs, athletic directors. They're the ones who actually run that playoff, and they have a committee for that. So it's not the
I
NCAA.
didn't know that.
Yeah. So that's why when people were saying where they're going to have a championship this year, everybody was like, the resounding answer was like, yes, because the NCAA does not control the college football playoff. The athletic directors do. So they have like a committee where, I don't know how they rotate them if it's every 2 or 3 years or if it's every year, but a set of ADs will get in a room and they decide and vote on which 4 teams should make the playoff or not. And that's how it works. And that's how the seeding works with the bowls and all of that. So, yeah.
Here's a question for Gaiter. Do you feel like it's cool having a 14 playoff, or do you think they should expand it and make it like 8?
I think it should be expanded to 8. Like,
I agree.
some of those teams that should be left out, like, it's always the SEC schools that get left out. Like, SEC is the most dominant conference in college football right now.
Right.
Everybody knows that. So definitely 18, man. It'll be a more accurate championship, I feel like.
Yeah.
Versus just the 14.
I feel the same way. I got a lot of people that keep saying the latter. They keep saying, "Nah, I like it though. It's good the way it is," because people, I don't know, like, people just, if you deserve to be there, then you'll make it in the top 4. And I'm just like, well, that's not fair, because
that's hard, man.
that's what I'm saying.
It's hard.
Colleges, like, I think what they did was they kind of just took it for what it was. Like, they went ahead and made, finally gave us a playoff instead of the BCS computerized crap. And
that BCS is bullshit, though.
Oh yeah, it was.
Yeah.
People out there cracking their heads for a computer, bro. It was crazy. They was generating numbers. It was like, yeah.
It didn't make any sense either. I think one year Nebraska lost the conference championship, but still went to the national championship based off the numbers.
I ain't gonna never forget that one year where Alabama was playing Notre Dame in the championship. I was like, this is weird.
So trash.
That was like a whole
trash.
I think they beat them like 50-10 or something like that, and it was like the game was over in the first quarter.
It wasn't even close. I remember because that was the year that nigga Manti Te'o was pretending like he had a girlfriend and shit. Like,
yeah, like
it was all he catfish.
Yeah. He was a joke
he
for a
was
whole
real deal guy catfish.
That's a different level right there.
Yeah. All right, well, I got one more, and I think we'll just get ready to close the show out and whatnot due to time and
for sure.
Yeah, due to time. But and if y'all got one more to share too, by all means do so. But pancake or waffles?
Ooh.
Waffles, man. Waffles.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with waffles too, man. Just easier to eat. I mean, they both horrible for you, but I mean, like, digestion wise, it's easier. Pancakes, I mean, waffles work better for me, but I like them when they be a little burnt, a little crispy.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, I mean, naturally.
That little waffle maker next to you.
Yeah, when you get it, you stay in a hotel or whatever, and then you can pour your own.
Pour you have your little.
Yeah, and they be having a little sauce right there next to it. They got they got jam, they got regular maple syrup, they got strawberry. Like, they be having like multiple. You have like 4 or 5 choices you can choose from. It'd be good.
Yeah, right. I fucks with waffles. I have to go with waffles too, because it seems like the most common is pancakes. Because you more if you're eating at someone's house or if you're eating at your own house, you more so gonna make pancakes. You have the stuff to make pancakes unless you have a waffle maker or if you buy Eggos or whatnot. But I've always liked the crispiness of waffles. They're always consistent. It's just waffles are elite to me when it comes. And I don't even fuck with breakfast food like that. I don't even really like breakfast food like that. Yeah, but I hate the choice.
I was about to say, you got to be dedicated.
Yeah.
Cause I don't even eat breakfast anymore at this point, for real. It's like I have like a glass. I have like 2 or 3 glasses of water. That's what I use to start my day with and get everything turning. take a shit, stretch, and then get to work, basically. Then I eat like one big meal for the whole day for the most part. If I eat twice, it's because I'm just either in my feelings or I'm just like legit might actually been hungry or some shit like that. But I only eat once a day mostly.
Yeah, Jatan, she's a big breakfast person, so
Okay.
if I eat it, it'd be like on a weekend or something when we in the kitchen and having to cook it and whatnot. But other than that, I can do without breakfast food. I was just because my mom, she didn't really make breakfast food for us because she had a very early job and she didn't really care for breakfast food. And then the breakfast I did eat was was in the lunchroom at school, and we all know lunchroom food. Yeah.
Yeah, we used to have
those sausage biscuits.
sausage biscuits, and you put jam on them and chocolate milk. Yeah, I never really drunk chocolate milk, but I did. I used to eat the sausage biscuit if I get there early enough.
Yeah.
You had to get there early.
Yeah, you had to get there at like 6. You had to get there. Well, class started at what, like 7:05 or something like that, or the first bell would ring.
I used to always catch the biscuits like right at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You get
right before they close late.
I used to fuck with those little breakfast pizzas too. Those little
those would hit. Yeah, we had them in middle school. Yeah, them things was good, boy.
When I worked at Papa John's, we used to make a breakfast pizza. We used to put instead of pizza sauce, put syrup on there. And get some sausage and put some bacon on there, some cheese, and run it through the oven.
Wow, that probably was another level,
bruh. Bruh.
I forgot you worked at Papa John's. That's right. You was managing it, wasn't you?
Yep, the one in
I remember that.
Hampton Cove or
Lady Cove. It's like
I remember that.
Right by the Target.
Yep. I remember that.
Yeah, I think we all have worked crazy jobs here or there. Because at one point in time, I was managing movie gallery, and I called Jay and I was like, "Hey, I'm hiring." I was like, "You just come over here so you can get hired." And I hired him. He only worked like one day, but he would work all the other days. He would work at the Rave or something like that.
Yeah,
that was pretty cool.
Yeah, it was a cool little gig. It's not really spoken of or talked about us. That we have to talk about that on one of the future episodes. It was like a lost
I didn't
files.
know about the movie gallery part-time gig.
Yeah, we had we had some memories in there too. We had some interesting people in there.
That was like right around the time when I had that was 2008. So I had just started. I think it was like fall of 2008. I had just started that summer of 2008 going into the fall, and I had just started at A&M then. So a lot of the football players or people would come through that store because some of them knew I was there and stuff like that. Yep. But I mean, they would just be cool and just come through, and they would see me on campus and be like, "Oh, you the manager, dude, at movie gallery?" Like, yeah, I'm up there. So I was working there, and I was working at Hollywood 18. So I would leave there, drive a mile down the road, and just go to work again, and then get off at 10. So the whole day would be basically 8 to 10 every day. Go there, had to go do the deposit, go drop the deposit off, be back to the store by 8:45 or something like that, and then open the store. Because the day shifts at movie gallery with shit, because I mean it wasn't nobody really coming in there. If it was summertime, it was different though. You have kids and churches and people just just weird stuff. The weirdest stuff would happen. At night it would be kind of awkward because you get weirdos that would come in there and they would just be lingering in the store and shit, and wouldn't buy nothing. They would just be in the store. Oh shit, a cat. It's a real cat.
Hey, this nigga Gaiter got a black cat just off a scary movie too.
It's going
down. Man, nah, what's the cat name?
Olive.
Oh, well, go figure. That's tight. You can shout out your business and Like you got a website or whatever for your business and you want to shout them out, you can right now. Or if you want people to follow you, or if you don't want people to follow, it doesn't matter. It's up to you. But
No, yeah, you can follow me on Instagram, Gaiter25. It's Gaiter 25. That's
oh yeah, man. And then of course y'all know our plugins. They're on the screen right there for you. Jay, you got anything else?
Nah, man. Just shout out to everybody who been rocking with us. If you listen to this episode, hopefully you had some laughs with us. We got we gotta have Gaiter back on. You know,
you gotta come back, bro. You gotta have back. So we need to get into more of y'all stories because I knew about the one. I knew about the one in the locker room and the lights going off because y'all used to tell that one all the time in high school. I remember that one. But hearing it now as a 31-year-old man, y'all was like, he said, Cheese cut the lights off and y'all come back on. He was like, oh, everyone's like, oh.
That's literally the energy. The energy just left because everybody was all anticipating. We was like, all right, well, something about to go down. He kept telling everybody he was about to do something. So everybody was in there, but so everybody thought we was about to see a fight. That's what we thought we was about to see, our actual fight. And then when that went down, everybody was like, "Oh,
AC choke."
Everybody was like, "Oh,
that shit killed me."
Yeah, but yeah, we gotta have Gaiter back on, man, because we barely scrapped the story. There's so much stuff that we didn't talk about.
Plenty of stories.
Yeah.
We're gonna do that, man, the next time. So y'all check this out. You can follow us on SoundCloud. You can listen to us on SoundCloud. You can watch us on YouTube. We also have like a Facebook page as well if you want to connect with us there. We have an Instagram page in addition to that if you want to connect with us there. And a Twitter for those of you Twitter heads out there. So, yo, we appreciate it, man. I have been your host, T.
And this is Jay.
We have my man's Gaiter on tonight, man. AKA Gaiter Bait. You know what I'm saying? Gaiter never been
Gaiter Bait.
Gaiter Bait.
Alligator.
And don't forget, man.
Gator.
And don't forget, man, when life gives you lemons, man, make lemon water. You feel me? Peace.
Sure.